Oh my goodness. Wow.
He might call.
Wow.
All right. Well, I put
was
it.
my first trophy.
I just put it in, so I think it's good. I think it works.
I'm not much in Twitter as the Americans. We Brazilians, we use Instagram and WhatsApp, and you know.
We're going. We're in there, guys. Welcome to the show. We are doing a very special show from Paradise Island. This is a very special treat. I'm sorry I'm here. Actually was in the 25, 50 million, didn't make it through and got to do the show today, but I couldn't be happier to be here. Other than that, other than being in that tournament, there's nowhere I'd rather be at this exact moment. We got my man Rafael Reis in the building. There he is. He's got a beautiful background. He's a poker Brazilian superstar. We got him on the show. He's in Orlando at the moment. Great to have you. How are you?
Thank you for having me here, Jeff. It's like a pleasure to be here. It's the best show in the world for poker. I think it's the best tournament, best week tournament in the world. GGMillion. So I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's great to have you, and we have a exceptional treat today. Almost 150 million in earnings with these players on GGPoker. That's not their live earnings. That's not other sites that may exist in the world, even though GG we know is the spot to be. But they are insane. 19 titles. Benjamin Raleigh is the chip leader. Someone we know has been on the show multiple times. Raise Your Edge. I think you mentioned you've done that program you're familiar with, and we've got all kinds of legends, including the #1 all-time earner in the GGMillions and titles, and a lot more to talk about. But first, we're going to look at you. 2.3 million in earnings. You have a $465,000 best cash. You're top 15 on the Brazilian all-time money list. Crazy accolades. Pleasure to have you. And we're going to dive right into last week's winner here, who was a first-time winner, 7 appearances, first final table. He got it done in a stacked win. Let's take a look at that winning chip, the hand from last week, Revo John. You can see King Jack off, heads up, 140K, big blind, so still some play. Valdemir, very accomplished player, has won multiple titles on here as well, playing the first timer. It's nice to be covered, nice to have King Jack, and let's see what happens here. Queen 9-3 with King Jack in position. What do you like here?
We have a good shot. We just open. I would like to bet.
Yep. Well, he's aligned. This is what champions do. You got the champion mindset. He's going to bet 140, get called. Oh, hello, the nuts.
The dream.
The nuts. You're covering your first final table as a GGMillion participant. You got the nuts on the turn in position, and now it's just about how much to bet. There's a flush draw. You unblock the pairs. Okay, big bet. I like it. You got the nuts, and you're going to go big. Why not? Because all those things. You don't block pairs. There is draws. It is heads up. Pairs hard to make. And he does go for a large sizing. And Valdemir, who, as I recall what he had, it's a pretty dirty hand. Can't remember if he raises right now or just calls, but I know he has the second nuts, as I recall, Jack 8.
That's
so this is
amazing
super cooler. Both players are so happy. King Jack, then a decision to just call or raise. You know, you assume your opponent has something decent. He does set the trap, just call, close his eyes.
I would just call because we already have a setup only on the river, so there's no need to raise.
Yep, he just calls, and now Valdemir, who again has, I remember I was doing this, I saw it last week, Jack 8, pretty insane. He's taking his time, thinking about doubling up. Almost surely is doubling up. To have Jack 8 in a heads-up match with no flush, no paired board, such a great spot. But as it turns out, it would not be. And there it is, the snap call. No waiting, nuts, game, bet, match. Revo John is your champion from last week. Pretty exciting final table. It was a really, really fun one today. I know we're going to have a great final table just with the player, the pedigree we got. And there's a look at the GGMillion all-time ranking. Pretty insane. 10 titles for Arthur. He is here. He's in the Bahamas, got the Bahamian flag today. He's playing all this stuff, doing everything, and also final tabling. But he is here, as well as Niklas Astedt, who just took fourth, or was it third, for $4 million, I believe, in the WSOP main event on the big screen in Vegas. He is in with a 2-time top 10 at the final table there. So that's a treat. We're going to see those players and some other absolute crushers, as well as we'll go ahead and dive in and take a look at what is at stake today. Let's go ahead and look at the prize pool. A little bit lower than normal, still $250 to first, but why would you say, why do you think it's a little lower? It's because
I think because
tell me, what do we got?
I think it's because everything is going on right now. We have like a WPT in Las Vegas, Bahamas with 50 million. So that's why, but it's like just a little shy. Usually it's like 300 something. So we are good.
Yeah, still again, such high quality players and big 250 still going to first, big payouts. And of course, again, some of these players, maybe even in this tournament still, Artur, and I was playing with Zubov in the 25K 50 mil just yesterday. He was at my table. I don't know if he made it out or not. I did not make it, but he might even still be in that tournament multi-tabling. So there is possibly some of that where they're playing live and online in the Bahamas. But as it stands, let's take a look. We'll go and see those payouts and then take a look at our final table list today with 9 players. I just mentioned him, Zubov. He has not won this tournament yet. 23 appearances, over 4.5 million on GG. And here you can see in GGMillions, over $1 million in earnings. He only has 7 big blinds. Going to be pretty straightforward for him. Push or fold, not much to do at the moment, but yeah, tough player, and see if he can get it running. You can see the Bahamian flag. He is currently in the Bahamas taking a go at both live and online. Let's go to our 8th place person, the player, another Bahamian flag, Artur Mortreason, happens to be your #1 all-time in the GGMillions. 10 wins, astounding. 42 final tables. To win 10 out of 42 is absurd. Most players, you might win. It's just a crazy, crazy deal. Maybe winning 4 would be impressive, but 10 is just a different level. 39% of the money, 200 appearances, all-time, 41 million in earnings. I mean, every one of these stats that we're talking about, we're just going to start with that. And he is 67th in the live all-time money list. So there he is, 17 blinds. See if he can get cooking. The 2 Bahamians that are playing from the Bahamas, they are our short stacks. Let's go to our 7th place stack today is Sergey Ryach, who is also 6 final tables, no wins, a lot of appearances, very impressive player. See what he can come up with today with 28 big blinds. So there is a jump. 7th place already sort of healthy, 28 big blinds, plenty to play with. We'll go to our 6th place today. The 6th place, Diego Zeider, someone I know a little bit less about, not so much appearances on GGMillions, only 3, 7 million in GG earnings, so obviously knows what he's doing. Have you played with Diego at all? Are you familiar with his game?
Playing with him, I played with Arturin and with Niklas. I have a pleasure to play with them in the last WSOP.
Those guys, yeah, two of the.
But I know names. All of these guys.
Yeah,
I was talking about with a friend of mine yesterday, Internet 93. So, and he was like giving me some heads up about them.
I love it. Yeah, no, these guys. This is again stacked. I think 5 million is the lowest at the table in GG earnings, which is crazy. 145 million in earnings just about across the board. So with these 9 players, so let's go to our next player. This is one we don't know a little bit less about, and Andrei Novak, someone we've seen win before, a lot of appearances, many final tables, and you can see hard to win. Not everyone just gets there and wins 1 out of 4. He has got 1 out of 16 that he has won, but he does have 16 million in earnings, very experienced, 57 big blinds, plenty to play with today. Our next player, let's go to our next one. This is a guy, Marius Gears, who is pretty comfortable here, 16 million in earnings. Someone I haven't seen for a little bit, hasn't been on here a ton lately. 3 wins though in 14 final tables, super impressive stats, 16 million in GG earnings. All right, our next player, let's go. There's just big name after big name. Niklas Astedt, this guy, you could put him in that category, the Mount Rushmore of poker. He just showed us his live capability at the main event 2024. 4 million in earnings, 58 big blinds, 33 million on GG. Tell me about Niklas. How dangerous is he? You said I think you played with him live. You've met him, and tell me about his game.
Yeah, I played with him like last year. Was in the main event, and he said, "Rafael, you are maniac." I said, "No." Well, people think like Niklas is like really aggressive, but he's like just like document mistakes. Like he plays almost perfect. I was like watching him play, even though like we know like online players that have like some difficulties to adapt, and Niklas was like doing really well.
Yeah, it is not. I wouldn't say it's rare, but it is a very fine line where players that are able to just do extremely well live and online. It's a different game. We do of course have those players, but he is in that category. Not a lot of those can execute that and just kind of comfortably transition between the two. So very fun to watch. Niklas, always top player in a class act. We're going to see what he can do. I think we get to see a hand from Niklas too from this tournament. Let's see his top 3 stacks. So he is a early stage of this tournament. Excuse me. So 1428. This is very early. You can see the stack sizes are around the starting stack. I think it's 100, and you might get 20,000 extra. No, I'm sorry, 10,000 extra if you register at the start of the tournament, which is a nice increase. So here we go. Pretty early on, 8-9, going to defend against the other Swede there, Simon Mattsson, another on
Two of the best players in the world.
Yes, a lot of history. They definitely know each other well. I think they're pretty close. I'm not positive on that, but here we go. He bets small on the Queen 10-4 into Niklas with the gut shot. Of course, drawing to the low end of the gut shot, though, which is a little bit problematic because if you do hit your hand, you don't have the nuts. And, if you hit an 8 or 9, you also could complete some of the hands that maybe are drawing. So this is a little bit aggressive. And look at this. He does get the jack. So he makes the straight, lose the King 9, lose to Ace King. Got to feel pretty good about the hand. Also, though, nice, you really wouldn't have Ace King, right? Because you wouldn't flat that pre. So that kind of is out of your range, and you are really at the top, absolute top of your range here. Does check it over once it makes the straight to Simon. So check raise and then check. What are your thoughts there versus to bet lead out on the turn and off the river?
Yeah, I thought he would like just check. We can like just check raise because we have like a 40k pot. We need to increase this pot, but like, let's check. And now I think he goes for a big. Yeah,
goes big, and it's interesting too. Your good point though. The reason probably not to lead the turn is you don't have Ace King. So you can't really just like start repping, oh yeah, like that card makes me, like that he's gonna have more Ace King than Niklas. So that makes sense why to check. And now after getting checked back, he does decide to bet big. And look, you can't blame Simon there. He blocks King 9.
Yeah.
He blocks Ace King, of course, which we don't really ever have as the big blind when we don't raise pre-flop. But with that being said, he's got a pretty good hand. Top pair has the king. There are some hands, Jack 9 could turn into a bluff, or other hands that maybe check raise that decide to bet big or bluff. So yeah, interesting hand and a nice pickup there. Again, two of the best battling with each other from the same country and are a good result for Niklas. A little bit of an insight from an early stage of the tournament where he got some chips and got to get going. All right, let's go to our second place competitor today, who is Simon Beckmann. Again, someone out of all the people here we have maybe the least of info on. He has only played 7 times. We have not seen him at this GGMillion final table. 0 GGMillion earnings. Hoping to get in the positive today with a score. And you can see as well, 5 million in earnings on GG. So can assume that he plays well. 5, that's a lot. It's impressive, especially when you're talking about not playing the GGMillion. So maybe some smaller buy-ins, has some experience. Let's take a look at a hand from him in this tournament. Again, at the early stages, 3.57K. Jack 10 suited, certainly going to open. He does that for a min raise. And again, some familiar faces here. A lot of tough players. As you said, this is the top. This is the best tournament you will find online every week. Biggest buy-in, biggest prizes, and the biggest, I'd say, talents in the world here. So it's always fun to watch. And here we are seeing a raise and Jack 10 suited. They're fairly deep, right? Enough, what's that, 37, so 50, 67, enough blinds, right? Enough to peel.
Enough blinds. Enough blinds to peel. It's an MP versus button, so.
A little bit dicey. You do peel, you're out of position, backdoors, straights, flushes, middle pair. What do you like? Check, and then let's see the sizing here. But this is, again, a bit of a difficult hand to play, right? This is one of the ones where you start getting into a bit of a guessing game, and Simon has got a decision.
Yeah, versus small bet, we always continue with that, like middle pair, backdoors. So now we have like both.
Pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy turn. And I mean, if you look at the hands, if you're Enrico here, you don't really have much to worry about other than sets, I guess, right? If you have, like, let's say an ace queen or ace king, it's a pretty connected board. But Jack 8's not there. I guess you could have 9s, 10s,
maybe 10s,
suited,
yeah.
8s, 9s suited. 7s aren't going to be an issue now with the action on the flop, so you can sort of feel confident, maybe go for a second street bet. And he does go,
and he went for like small bet.
Yeah. Yep. Ooh, that is a nice river. And if you're Simon now, you have to decide, do you think your opponent's going to check back enough? Do you get to let him value bet like an ace king or ace queen on this?
I think based on the size we have to lead out, he made like a small size on the turn, so I would like just go, yeah. I would say big only.
He did it. He went all in, and Enrico, I mean, we have not seen this hand yet. Maybe ace king, ace queen, tough to make a decision with. It's also, what would he do though? What would Simon do with ace jack here? That's the question. He probably wouldn't bet, right? He might.
Yeah, he probably would like just check.
Yeah.
And hope to see a jack with ace jack.
And I actually do like the all in too, especially when you have the diamonds and you miss, and then you get to bet. Those are a very likely candidate. You could have had like a jack queen of diamonds, jack king of diamonds, and you bet to bluff. So it is a nice spot when you hit that 10, sort of the magic card. You have the flush draw in your hand that missed, and you get to go all in. So I think we don't know what Enrico had there. Again, this was before the final table. This is just sort of showing us a hand that took place earlier, and we don't know. But maybe he had to make a tough hole. Maybe just had king queen, off with the diamond and didn't have a tough decision. But either way, nice pot from Simon, a player we're going to get to know better today, as he is in a really good position stack wise at this final table, looking to get his first title. And we are going to go next to a chip leader, someone you may be familiar with. We mentioned him earlier. If you're watching at home, Benjamin Rolle. He has over 100 blinds, over 10 million in GG earnings. The Raise Your Edge founder, creator, CEO, also Ascend Gaming. He is in a very good position today, and you can see on GG about 33% of his earnings come from this specific tournament. He plays the biggest. He's fired the most of his action on the high stakes online, almost coming up on 100 appearances, one win only on 17 final tables, some close calls, seconds, thirds, of course, 40 cashes, in the money 40% of the time, looking to close out his second title. Tell me about Ben CB. Tell me about your experience with Ben. And you said you did the course back when you started.
Yeah, I did the course of Ben when he launched like a long time ago. I don't remember the year, but yeah, I agree with his thoughts. Back then he was like crushing the line, so I was happy to get into his course. So, and I was watching him for a long time, so he's a really good player. There's nothing to say anymore. I will learn a lot from this show today.
I love it. Exactly. We are in for a treat. This has to be, I'm almost positive this is the largest earnings we've seen, 145 million across the players within the GG platform. And again, 19 titles. So going to be 20 titles by the time this show is over of the group. So averaging over 2 titles per player, that is something astounding. A lot of times we won't see like 6 or 7 titles, 10 titles total. So let's take a look at a hand from Ben that got him here. And this is a little later stages, 7K, 14K. There's your Brazilian friend there, Yuri, another guy with a list, just an absolute animal, just crushing all kinds of games, mixed games, poker, PLO, different types of games. Tell me about Yuri as well as we have this hand tee up. How well is Yuri respected in the Brazilian poker community?
Yeah, I can tell you something. I have been a friend of Yuri for like maybe 17 years, 15 years. And like long time ago, he said, I will be the first in the world. Like when he was like maybe 17, and he did. So he's just like, he's accomplishing whatever he wants in poker because he put the time, he worked his ass off. So that's a Yuri.
Yeah, he is getting in the chat here. We do have a tweet as well to get out for you guys. Got a lot of stuff to do today with giveaways. We're going to talk about that, but we first have a multi-way pot, something we don't get to see a lot, especially in the later stages. Changes the game, of course, in terms of the hand strength. We see ace-8 suited on the button from Ben. So pre-flop, we got to see the action as he is now with top pair on a tricky board multi-way, right? A lot happening here, multiple hand strengths that are here in the big blind range as well. So talk to me about this spot as played, where we're at, and if you're Ben, we see his hand ace-8 suited. I mean, this is kind of middle of the road, right? Where you feel like
we need to play with cautious because the big blind's in, so there's like 98, 5-3. We have to play with caution. We have like a medium volley versus a big blind that could play us off the hand, just play cautious in this spot. Hope to play a small pot.
Yeah, this is definitely not the, you're not fist pumping. And as played, the river though, now it is in a different position. You now have the ace-8, of course, 6-7's there, but don't think the big blind would be checking 6-7 suited on that board and what's going on. So like there is a bit more of a defined range, and this now all of a sudden feels a lot better. Check, check, turn. You hit the ace. You beat the majority of hands here at this point as played. I think you can pretty comfortably assert you have the best hand. What would you like to see sizing wise from Ben?
I think he's starting. The only guy that could have like the strong ace is the cutoff. So I think he's starting like his ace and like middle pairs. So I would not go big. I would go like half or less. Yeah, he went for half.
Yeah, so he goes half, and this is where, yeah, if you're Julian, you know, you have ace queen or ace jack, somehow ace king. If you get here, it's not fun. You do beat hands. It's also he didn't bet the turn. Now he's betting the river, so it's kind of like he'd have to have. It feels like a tough fold if you have a big ace here. I don't know for that sizing how you're going to get away. Let's see what he comes with. And wow, whoa, we were thinking about the check call.
That's
now penalty. I mean, we know Ben's the chip leader today. This is a big pot they're showing us. Imagine he's not folding, but what do you put the player Julian on here?
So the way he played, it's hard to put him like in something like aces, for example. Like what else to play like that? Like his rep like aces or like ace king. He would not like go big. Ace queen as well. What do you think?
I mean, well, I think Ben's going to call, and I think he's going to win because we're seeing a highlight and he has the chip lead. But yeah, it's a very tough spot. I guess here, I mean, maybe Julian has like Jack, Queen of Hearts, or we have not seen this hand yet. I don't know. So you know, he probably missed. So I don't think he's going to play. Yeah, I don't think he's going to.
Combos of ace three, ace five suited.
That's true.
That he opens and like.
Yeah, that's a good point. He could. I think that's part of the problem. Ben may be asserting that this is not likely a bluff. Most likely, and then what hands do you beat that are value and you block? I think, you know, I mean, you're right. You could have ace 5 suited that improved, ace 3 suited as played. You lose to 8. Okay, wow. So 8-7 off, and he opened 8-7 off and then decided to turn that into a bluff, and that is a pretty wild hand all around. Now, I would not have expected to see that. I'm not familiar with Julian's game, but that is again, look at the. Look at that. I mean, what do you think?
I would turn into a bluff into the turn, so we still have like a lot of equity. We can make like better eights to fold, like pocket 6 to fold. No, pocket 6 not like better 8 to fold, and like not on the river, but you know, he's creative.
He is creative. What about the open though too, right? 7-8 off in the cutoff versus this lineup. You got Yuri in the small that's short, could shove. Ben with the big stack on the button, you know, a healthy stack, who's a top player, and Duke O'Haven also one of the most decorated players on the GGMillion. I think that's an ambitious open with that lineup of players with their stack sizes, with their hand holding. And as you mentioned, I do prefer to get aggressive on the turn and then maybe bluff even some hearts on the river, certain runouts that, you know, you could maybe fire and bluff as well. So that is a very interesting hand. And you saw Ben got put in the tank even with that strong of a hand, right? So maybe he would fold a hand like ace jack or ace jack suited, ace queen that decided not to 3-bet pre-flop. Maybe he will get some better hands to fold. He ran at the top of the range. Ben ultimately makes the call, and there is a look at what is a starter. I love the preview hands. We get to get a glimpse on some of these players, how they play, and then how we get to see the early stages of the GGMillion. Of course, that we all know you get to a final table. Cool, you get to learn, watch, but it's a lot of the game, of course, is early stages. How you play at the early on stage, the middle stage, the bubble stage, and the bubble of the final table. Very key differences in those portions of the tournament. All right, well, with that said, we are going to get to go and take a look at the betting odds today on what's happening, and we're going to have a little fun. I know, you know, or you're in South Florida area. I'm in South Florida. We can go to a nice dinner. We can put a wager on it. And of course, if you are able to bet in the client on GG, if you are in a place for real money, you can also make a wager. If you have a feeling on this, there's the priced odds. Pretty wild ninth place odds there, 43 change to 1. But that's what happens when you have 7 big blinds. You're a big underdog, and that is a big task to come back. And let's see about Ben with the price chip leader. Who do you want? I'll let you pick first. We each pick 3. We get 100 units. To do break up amongst the 3. And are you up for a dinner wager? Can we do that?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll pick first.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. I will get Ben. Yeah, I would bet 45 units in Ben.
45 units. Okay, healthy bet on the chip leader. And as you said, you've done his raise your edge course. You're familiar with this game, and that's a good pick. I'm gonna go down to Niklas Astedt. Just too much pizzazz. He's got too much credit here. He just knows how to finish. He is fresh off that third place for 4 million at the WSOP main event. Love to have him on the show as well. Anyone also watching, I do want to invite Rafa. I'm really happy you're coming on. First time guest. Love to have you on again. A lot of Brazilians out there watching. Prazer. Good to see everyone. Boa tarde. You know, I'm working on my Portuguese, and we do have a lot of Brazilian representation on the GGMillion, and it is growing so fast. So I got to say hi to all the Brazilians out there. And today, I don't know, do we not have a Brazilian? It might be one of the first times in a long time. I don't think we have a Brazilian today, right? No Brazilian.
No, there's no Brazilian in the final table.
Very
today.
Rare. That is very rare. And look, we still do. We have representation with you, which is great.
Yeah, we still have some Brazilian at the final table.
I love it. I love it. All right, so I'll take Niklas. Who's your second pick?
My second pick is Andrei Novak.
Andrei Novak. All right, nice. So you're going down a little bit. You're taking 9.64 to 1. How much do you want to wager of your 55 remaining units?
Yeah, I would bet 30 units on
35. Oh, 30. So you got 25 left. 30. Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
That's a nice pick. I'm going to go with Marius Gears. Just a crusher. It's almost 6 to 1. I will take. What did I say on Niklas? Did I say an amount or I didn't put an amount? I don't think I put an amount yet. I'll go.
Yeah, I didn't say the number.
50 on Niklas. I'll take 30 on Marius. So that's it. I'll have 20 left on my last pick. Who is your last pick? Who is your third pick today?
This Simon.
Simon. Okay. Simon, nice. You're going up there with 5.2 to 1. How much on him? That's your remaining units. What do you have?
Yeah, my remaining is 25.
Nice. You're using the full 100 as you should. That is smart. That's your third pick. I am going to go down. I'm a sucker for the big names. I'm going to go with Artur. I got to go 16 to 1.
Yeah.
That's fun, right? Like if he hits it, it's a nice score. The guy's done 10 times. You just know if he gets cooking, he's dangerous. And although he only has 17 big blinds, he's still priced. You know, I think they're giving him a little more bang for the punch there. They're knowing that he's dangerous, and although he only has that many chips, they're still pricing him, you know, ahead of a player as good as right about Sergey, who is also a world-class player. And you can just see they know he can close, they know he can get cooking. I will take Artur with my final pick, and I said, so what did I do? I did 50, I do 30, and then 20, right? So I'll have 20. Yeah. On Artur, that will be my pick.
You get a good odds on Artur, but he's supposed to have like less. If you weight the player he's supposed to have less. You got a good odds on him. I would bet him every time.
I'm happy with that. Alexander Zubov, if you like a long shot, again, I was literally playing with him yesterday live, and he also has been in good form recently, I believe, with Triton and then some other scores, and he is around and plays a really strong brand of poker. So hopefully he's still in the main in the 25-50 mil multi-tabling. That would be fun. Don't know if he is or not. Good luck to all the players today watching. And again, we will be playing to a winner. And to remind everyone, this is no deal making. From Sunday, 10K buy-in, final table pause. Play out here on Tuesdays every week. We have, again, the biggest prizes, biggest name, biggest guests, and no different today with Rafa. And Rafa, tell me about Poker Picks. You have it on your Picks Poker. You have it on your hat, and tell me what that is before we're going to take a short break and then play the final table out. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Picks Poker is a platform to play poker on your cell phone, tablets in Brazil. So they have just 2 years, and they're mixing between the online platform and some live games. So, but they're doing not just a poker tournament. They're doing experience. You know, they're mixing something in our culture with poker. For example, they did a cruise last year, which was amazing. Then went to a big resort, and they did a multiple sports championship with poker. And in the last month, they did something it's in Brazil is called vaquejada, but seems like a rodeo with poker. When we went to a room, which is we have a glass window, and we could see the horse coming your way, and we were playing poker during this time. So they're doing like something like creative, and it's amazing. So I'm happy with them.
That's really cool. That is awesome, and I'm gonna ask you more about that as we get deeper into the show. And amazing to have you. Appreciate you so much. And again, everyone, we will be playing to a winner. Don't go anywhere. Right after the break, we will see you. We will call the final table action for a winner, and we will see the seat selection for the players from the 9th place all the way to the chip leader. Let's take a look at that right after the break. We'll see you in a few.
In case you haven't noticed, we're into breaking records at the World Series of Poker. Bigger and better is just how we roll. We did it this summer, as you saw, with the main event. Speaking of the main event, the WSOP just had a super idea for this year's WSOP Paradise in the Bahamas. For the first time ever, WSOP will host the super main event, a $25,000 buy-in with the biggest guarantee in the history of poker. Wait, is that number right? 50 million? What? 50 million? You guys are nuts, for real. Huge prize pools, massive water slides, fun for the whole family, and the chance to hunt bracelets with the beautiful backdrop of the Bahamas beaches just a few sandy footsteps away from the poker room. 15 bracelets will be on the line with buy-ins ranging from $2,500 up to $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a $1 million buy-in. The WSOP has partnered with the Triton Millions to bring the largest poker tournament in WSOP history back home. So what are you waiting for? Come make history with us again at WSOP Paradise.
Welcome back, everyone. After the very short break, we did the pregame. We are here, Jeff Gross, alongside Rafael Reis in the building. My man is going to call it with me to the end. We're going to play to a winner, and we will see in a stacked final table. Nothing else to say. We've gone through the player, the pedigree, 250K plus going to first place, as you see 35, just under 35K guaranteed for the 9th place finisher. Zubov's got work to do. He's got 7 blinds, 9 remain from the 116. We are going to be seeing again a elite of elite, 145 million in earnings amongst these players on GGPoker alone. You can see the big blinds, Ben with over 100, short stack 7, Artur with 17. Definitely never count him out. The all-time leader in the GGMillion in terms of titles by far. He has 10. Crazy stat. Let's see the action. Let's go ahead and see the seat draw. This is where we get to see the players select. Again, the 9th place goes first. So there is some gamesmanship here. General strategy, you want to be on the left of the biggest stack. Of course, in 9th, 8th, 7th place, you don't have much deciding to do. You just pick a seat and hope for the best. Maybe predict a little how the seats may shake out. But there we go. The 9th first chooses, and then we get to keep seeing each player's 10 seconds to select. Generally, you'll see the chip leader go on the direct left of second. Now, of course, like in this case, you know, if I'm Ben and you know Niklas is one of the toughest players in the world, even though he's not in second, he's close to second, I would imagine he may find himself to the left of Niklas, right? You don't just automatically go directly to second place. So we'll see how that shapes up here at the end. A very cool feature from GGPoker, how that is done, as we will get to see, again, the selection process. And, you know, players, some just don't move. They just say, like, he didn't choose. Maybe he wasn't there. Maybe he didn't move in time. Maybe he was happy with his seat. But Diego did stay right to the left of Marius, as Novak then does switch with Ben for the time being. And now Mario also, again, Marius has a very similar stack to Niklas and the 2nd place. So he's going to switch with Ben again. And now Niklas in 3rd, where does he want to go? Maybe predict kind of where Ben's going to go, or anticipate how that might work. So he goes to the left of Ben. Now the 2nd stack, where is he going to go? He moves. And now your chip leader, Ben, will he go right to the left of Ben? Will he go to the left of Artur? Let's see how he moves and goes. He's actually going to go with a different approach. He's going to get away from Niklas, not even be on the left. So interesting. Again, he goes to the actual direct left of the 2nd place stack. So a bit curious on what I'd like to hear from Ben. Maybe ask him what that decision process looks like, exactly why he does what he does. But as it plays out, that is how it stands. And the action is in the air with 2 8s on the button. First hand with a playable hand. I guess Marius also ace-10 off. So here we go. Underway to a winner. And you can see the chess clocks, some of the players below 10 minutes right there. What is that? It's interesting, actually. It might be a 10-minute clock, as we do have a delay. And we see, I think it's usually 15 minutes. Gonna have to get word on that, but we are off and running with the ace-10 open. What do you like here with 8s, Rafa?
This is just a call for me. So I would go for a call if the stacks.
All right, well, that happens, and Ben completes 9-10 off, chip leader. Hand that does have some playability, a little bit dominated, as we see it is in this case, but ace-10 going to go ahead and have to give some respect to a multi-way pot. Does just check in 2 8s, not the dream flop, and he will likely not be betting here, but you never know. You could have some small bet, try to maybe take it down, buy yourself a free river too, which is interesting.
With some small bets, we may buy the check of Marius on the turn, and we can see the river.
Yeah, I mean, nice for Marius does have the ace of diamonds, a key card in this hand. He also has the ace, so certainly not going to fold. And then a pretty typical play might be like this, right, where you bet small turn. Now you get to check, you buy yourself a free river, and I think that's likely the route he's going to go here when he gets called on the flop. But yeah, okay, yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. And then ace-10, where it is an effective play, because now you got the river, and even here, like a hand as strong as ace-10, board gets a little choppy, and he just kind of decides, all right, I'm going to bet, maybe understanding that's a likely scenario. Also, his opponent could have some sort of, diamond draw, right, like jack-10 or king, queen of diamonds that does do that. But anyway, he bets, takes it down. Yeah, nice pickup.
And talk about a mat, like it would be way cheaper bet small and check than call a bet on the turn.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That is a nice start for the player here. This is definitely not going to be an easy final table. I think anyone that goes ahead and gets this win today is going to feel very, very fortunate, because they know that this is a absolutely stacked final table. As our second hand that we get to cover is 2 blind on blind. Ben, king 8, covering Sergey by a fair amount. There's also very short stacks, so he does just limp, not raise. Tell me your reasons on this.
Maybe it's a ban approach to like just select to limp this king 8 to limp other hands, you know, to protect his range in the mixing.
Makes perfect sense, as we do see a king 8, queen 9. So all of a sudden, queen 9 is in the turn with 0 equity. Ben has a winner locked up. He is out of position. He does have the king 8 kicker, 150 in the middle. Looks pretty safe that he's going to win this pot. Be hard for any other way for that to happen. I don't think Sergey is going to be getting really out of line here against Ben, and not much.
Yeah, I don't think so
either. Yeah, Ben thinking about what he wants to do, if he wants to check call, block, value bet, kind of figuring out what he's going to come up with here. And Sergey,
Yeah, I think if it was not like a heart on the river, he would bet more confident. Then he chose this small size, targeting 5x or maybe 7 or pocket pairs.
Yep, good start for Ben, over 3 million, and Marius with the queen 10 off. No real premium so far. We have I think one final table, we had 10 times aces were dealt so far. Wow. Early here, nothing crazy. King 5 as the chip leader will go ahead and bet the min raise, and you can see Ben's stats from Sunday. Those stats on the outside, right and left, that will fan out in hands. That is from Sunday's action in this specific tournament. That's not counting today. It's not lifetime on GG. That is specifically for GGMillion Sunday, if you are wondering. And again here, no real premiums. Look at this. Is there even no ace dealt? That's pretty hard. A 9-handed, not an ace or a pair on this run out. This is a pretty dusty.
I like to see that sometimes to make the skills come up, you know?
Yeah.
It's nice to learn from. It's super easy to play when you have like big hands, big holdings. So it's nice to learn from the best in the world how to play without good holdings.
Yeah, let me know if you're in Brazil. Let me know where you're watching from in the world. Again, no Brazilian at this final table, but we got Rafa here calling the action, one of the elite Brazilian players, over 2.5 million in lifetime earnings, live 15th on that all-time list for the country. And how much live poker are you playing coming up here?
So I pretty much was like just like coaching and studying the last couple months, and I will be playing a lot in 2000 and the next year.
That's awesome. And how is in the poker scene in Brazil still pretty vibrant? I mean, it's growing all the time. My understanding from
it's growing all the time. So it's like breaking records. Like every single festival that we have there is insane. It's crazy. If we keep up on this, I don't know, maybe we're gonna be number 1 in the world by number of players.
Yeah, it does seem like it's absolutely just crazy rocket ship growing from every time, every year that I've been there. Just pretty insane. Like, it really does seem that it never stops growing. And it's the legality also has changed a bit, where it used to be kind of gray. It's more legal, or is it still kind of gray but trending in the right way?
Yeah, it's trending in the right way. It's more legal than was before. But like, I think because like a lot of famous people is joining the poker scene, a lot of like soccer players join poker. That makes people in Brazil just go with them, you know, like help a lot.
Makes perfect sense. Do have a giveaway on Twitter. If you guys want to guess who's going to win, put that in. Don't need to be right. Just need to make a guess and retweet, and I will make sure you are eligible for that $50 cash giveaway. And we will also have 2 giveaways today. Must be subscribed, must like, hit that thumbs up button. You will be eligible to have a $50 and $100 ticket for today. Of course, as I said, happy to be here. Love to be here. Nowhere I'd rather be today at this moment other than in day 2. Day 3 now would be in the money of the 50 million guaranteed 26K buy-in tournament. I actually was doing my best to be off work today. Really wanted to be in that tournament. That is a special one. Didn't work out, and get to be here and watch again some of the world's best, the elite play. I was looking to use, I've been immersed in the GG Millions every week. I haven't played a live poker tournament for a while. I was like, oh, let me get deep. If I get to the final table, I know I'll be able to close it. Watching this every week, what these crushers are doing, but it just, sometimes it's not meant to be. Sometimes you just don't get that run out, and it's a wild game, man. It's such a fun game, but it's the highs and lows, right? It's a very crazy game. As Zubov here with 7-9 is going to just call with the gut shot, thinking he doesn't have much fold equity, but for that price, he does call. And maybe there's a world where Ben doesn't bet, and yeah, now he gets showdown, but maybe he would have bluffed some rivers too, right? On this river when Ben checks the turn. And this is interesting. Zubov now is going to feel good about this.
Yeah, if I was Zubov, I would feel great about it. After check on the turn, 7 is not the nuts, but we have a good value here.
Yeah, I wonder if he's
Ben's checking a lot of pairs as well, so on the turn, kings, queens, jacks, tens.
Yeah, this is Zubov debating if he should be better to check call or bet. I don't think he can bet fold, so I think he does decide just to check, and I doubt he'll fold if he gets bet. And now Ben has a little bit of an interesting decision if he wants to, just show down queen high, and also figuring that has played, doesn't make a ton of sense that he has much value there. So interesting. Zubov going to win that very important pot, defend the 7-9 off, got to check call, and then realize a pair. He didn't pick it up. Yeah, this is we have got ourselves a very, very stacked file table. This is I feel every week I'm saying something that's just dramatic, but it's true. I don't think we've seen this much firepower at one ever. If someone wants to try to find a file table and go look at the GG Million earnings and tell me the GG poker earnings, if someone's got over 145 million at the table, don't think so. 19 titles, not sure. When you got 2 of the top 4 all time on the list, that does help right away in terms of earnings and titles. We have a lot of titles, 14 amongst those 2. Of course, some players here have not won. We have multiple players that have won multiple. Let's see on the, just to run it down for you guys. 1 title from Ben, 4 from Niklas, 3 from Marius, 1 from Andre, and then 10 from Archer. So that is your 19 titles. And then of course, Zubov not, Sergey not won, Diego has not won, and Simon has not won. So 19 amongst the 5 players.
Yeah, when I saw the lineup, I said, this is amazing. We got a lot to learn.
Yes. Yeah.
And when I'm coaching, always I tell to my student, go to watch a premium show, but watch as you are in his shows, learning, not just watch just for fun. It's good to watch just for fun, but if you are a student, watch to learn.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is a very interesting spot for Novak here with top pair, top kicker. It is against a button range, so you got to feel a little bit more confident with the, but it's scary. There's 2 pair combos. There's straights. You don't have a queen in your hand, and this is a spot where he does just call, sees a river, and will Marius unload the clip here on the 9? It's a little bit tougher, right? You do have king queen. You do have that hand that's possible. You don't, I guess you could have 7-8 for a straight. And does he want to bluff this? I mean, he's got one of the worst hands he can have as played at this point.
I think he's gonna bluff it.
Novak with that river though, bluffs miss, straight draws miss. I don't think Novak's playing to check fold. So a good discipline there would have been an uncomfortable. But yeah, he did. He did. I think, you know, there are rivers like clubs. There's some other cards that he is going to bluff there that come that may fall through, but not that particular one. As we do see Niklas now with sevens. Hold it to him. He's going to raise for 2.2, 30K big blind right now. As the other players don't have much to compete with there. You get a look at Niklas stats, 3-betting 11% of the time, PFR 18, BPIP 23. So plays a little bit of a snugger game, but then more aggressive 3-betting. That's on the higher side of 3-bet. So again, when he comes in strong. Gives you a little bit of look at his stats and what it takes to be the best. And got this tweet, want to put the link out there, going to have a $50 cash retweet. Let me go ahead and find that for you guys. Going to retweet that myself on Poker Flow Show. I'm going to copy the link. We're going to put that in there for you guys for $50 cash. I'll be the first of 3 giveaways. And we'll get that queued up. Let's see if Ben, big favorite today. This is now deuces under the gun raise. Certainly going to call with the pair, although, yeah, just kind of easy set mine. How many times you been there though, Rafa, where you're like, all right, I'm just going to set mine, going to go to the flop. The flop gets sort of interesting for your hand, and then you kind of catch yourself in these weird spots. This is not that exciting for deuces. 7-8 queen under the gun raise.
No, especially when we were on the big blind, so it was easy just to go and hope for a set, but this one is just bad for them.
Yeah, this is not going to be the one to invest more in. And pretty easy fold. Pretty easy fold as we see Arthur with the Soprano. Is that Tony Soprano for his avatar? Interesting. The Russian, I believe he's hailing from Russia, and he's got that avatar, and he needs help. He's got 400K on the shorter side. Only shorter would be Zubov at the moment, who did win a nice hand early to keep himself in the game. Do you think he would have bluffed that 7-9 on a fair amount of runouts as played when Ben checks at short, or do you think that he's just going to surrender if he doesn't hit a 7 or 9?
I think, yeah, I think he just would surrender. I like Ben played as a check on the turn and would indicate that he was playing as a check on the river or a big bluff.
Yeah,
but if he wants to bluff, he would start on the turn. He would continue on the turn. So
yeah,
it was a good hit for Zubov.
Nice pickup here, Queens as one of the shortest stacks. He is going to get himself a favorable spot. Don't see any contention here.
Yeah, any defender just open.
All right, well, short stacks are chipping up. The blinds are at 1530, so still some play. 10 blinds for Zubov. He has chipped up slightly. And again, not much. No big pairs. No. Is the best looking hand, and that is in the big blinds. Simon with queen 10 off does decide to
kill it again.
Vault. You can see stats for Simon there. Niklas defends and king 10 suited. This is a nice flop. Have a board where you're going to have a bit of a range advantage. You're going to have some of the low stuff, and he just comes on out
this lead.
Leading. Comes on out leading. Queen 10 off. May be able to just get out of here unscathed. He does call, which is a little bit for a hero status, and at the moment, king 10 suited is still the best hand, best draw, but out of position, got called once. Does he want to shell twice?
Yes, this calling flop is like you call flop to face a big bet on the turn. Instead, come like a ace or a king hand. So, yeah, this is kind of like a hero to call this on the flop for me. I would just fold flop. Next hand.
Simon looks like he's, it's one of those things. This is like one of those Mike McDermott, Johnny Chan moments. He's playing against the best. He's float. He's just calling with queen high, no draw, and he's now gonna raise.
He has a plan. Wow, he has a plan. That's why he calls flop.
This is crazy because Niklas actually, as his particular hand would in turn, he's got too much hand, I think, to get rid of it. But maybe he's thinking about re-kicking it up. This is interesting. He can't be folding, right? He's got the 2 overs to the board and the flush draw he let out. I doubt I think he's thinking about, does he want to click it? Does he want to ship it? Does he want to call? Calling is actually not so fun. It is a big price to then have to be out of position. You get to realize getting paid when you hit the spade. So I think all options being considered here from Niklas. They probably have a history. I'm sure these guys have played a fair amount. Again, big buy-in, small field. And he is in the tank. He's got you burning some of that clock right now.
Yeah, if you see a raise here, would be like he calling hits.
He calls, hits, and then Simon, who does have a queen of spades. This would be interesting if Ben.
No, what would you do here, Jeff? Facing a raise on the turn, then you hit.
I would block it. I would bet an induce bet. I think it's a good spot to induce because he may go big, but I think he actually might bet like something that might entice Simon to raise, and also gonna get checked back too much. So he's definitely betting. Curious if he goes large size or sort of like enticing to induce a bluff, and maybe he thinks
like 20% induced, 25% induced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love this. The thing is, Simon's actually got one of the hands to do it with the queen 10 off in this particular run out with the spade coming, having the queen of spades. I think he's going to get him. I think this is just, interesting. Love the bet though. Love the bet by Niklas. And that was a super interesting hand. Definitely giving us a little preview on what we might see today. Some aggression, players getting in the streets, playing poker, and a first round goes to Niklas. He is going to increase that chip stack and put himself, I think, second place, him and Ben. That'd be a fun heads up to see Ben and Niklas today. But we got a long way to go. Everyone is still in of the 9 players, about a half hour into the show today.
Yeah, we have to give Simon some credit because he calls on the flop. He has a plan to call, and he already have this plan. In some turns, he would like raise Niklas. I would not do that because we're playing against like Lena, so just fold and move on. But we have to give him credit.
Yeah, making some notes. This is quite a hand, quite a start. 9-handed. We haven't quite got a lot of confrontations, but look at that. We just say that, and then here we go. This is going to be getting in, and Archer going to find himself with a tier 1 hand, an absolute cooler button versus the small blind. And the thing that's nice for Niklas, though, is that he doesn't have a ton of chips. So this, if he doesn't get there, won't hurt too much. But again, yeah, pretty conclusive. King 10-10. And needs a jack, or that would be moving on. And it is not a jack. King 10-10. That's a little. That's reminding me of my hand yesterday. That's no one likes bad beat stories, but I did get a good spot in the 25K ace king to ace 10, all in pre-flop, and it came 10 queen 4 turn king, and there's one, only one way to lose that after that. That was a 10 on the river, and that sent me out packing. I was with Zuboff. He was at my table. I wonder if he's still in, actually. But yeah, that hurt, man. That's the one. It's just painful. It's like you play all these tournaments. This 25-50 is such a unique one. Just to get it in and just not have not only lose but dramatically lose was tough. But then you look out the window. It's sunny. There's beach, there's ocean. You get to come on the GGMillion, do the show today. This would have been a tough one to cancel, right? If we just didn't do the show today, this would have hurt, because this is maybe the most quality, the most pedigree we've had in all the shows that I've done, which I've done well over 100. So this is saying something. I think this is one of the best we've ever had in terms of quality with the players. So very exciting day. It was meant to be. We were supposed to be.
Yeah. You are in Bahamas. You were in the show, so yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad when you busted out and you were in Bahamas.
No, not complaining for sure.
Yeah.
How many times did you do these trips a lot? I don't know. We haven't met. I didn't know you back then. Have you been to some of the events here? Did you go to PC? How old are you, by the way, Ralph? I don't even know how old you are.
I'm 41.
How much?
Yeah, I'm 41.
41. Okay.
41.
So how old?
Yeah. 41.
41. Okay. Yeah. 41. Were you doing the PS?
So what are you? You were in the late 30s?
Yes. 38. Yep.
So I went to PSPC, I went to the WSOP last year. I made a final table on the 6 max, but not much. Couple in the monies. That's it. This year I didn't win because my wife, she just won a award in New York, and I thought it was like more important to support her than go to Bahamas because next year has a Bahamas as well. So I'm a family man, you know.
Você é esposa brasileira as well? She's Brazilian?
Brasileira.
Brasileira,
Esposa
yeah.
brasileira.
I know how that is. Must support. That's good. They're very passionate. They're the best.
Yeah.
You gotta give them the love and attention. They deserve it and they need it. And
Yeah.
that's smart man. A smart man to prioritize that. So
This is
we
one of
in
the best time of
Bahamas. Yeah, but
one of the
excellent.
best time of her professional life. So if I was not there, she would feel, you know, she would understand because I'm a poker player, but she would like feel, oh, if he was here, would be better than. So I wait and say, no, I'm not going to Bahamas.
Very nice squeeze, Simon. Got two better hands, well, better quality hands, ace-5 ahead of king-queen suited, but very, very nice pickup there. So Niklas got just kind of not enough. Ace-queen, I don't know if he's going to go for the story. He did fold the ace-jack off. King-queen suited got out, and Simon delivers a nice execution with a weak hand again, giving you option A, B, and then going outside the box, you know, oh, fold or call. And I like the raise instead of the call with the ace-5 off there, as you see the dominated hand of fold. So really nice, easy to know what to do, hard to pull the trigger. Did do that and did execute, as we see Novak with a very nice hand, the tier 1, hand rank 1 aces, the Rockets, the Airlines on the button, as he is going to be playing. Let's see, under the gun, you know, I like obviously raising. It's like you're against usually a strong range when they're and doesn't
I agree. I would raise versus another guy. Strong range, just
yeah, picks it up. Ace-3 suited now, Jack-6. 2-3, not much hands. 5s is back in the button. And again, maybe with these are the ones where some players we see different schools of thought, but 5s, do you want to set mine? I guess you got Ben to worry about, who's chip leader, could get maybe squeezy, and then also Sergey is kind of a 10 back, but still enough hand with the pair to call, going to play in position. I'm aligned with that call. What do you think with 5s?
Yeah, 50 blind zips. It's okay to flat to set mine.
Yep, does flat, does go for the set mine, does also have a diamond queen on the turn. You think it's a average flop?
I like to like the 5s in this scenario versus check for a small bet for the same reason that I like to see the river and maybe call river if there's facing a bet. But in this scenario was like check. He checks the flop with 5s in position. See the turn and check. I think would be check as well.
Does improve to a flush. Does lose now to some one large diamond holding. So a little bit of a modest run. I think pretty happy to showdown here, right? 5s, 5 of diamonds. Be maybe a little greedy to bet, but at the same time,
yeah, it's a little greedy.
Next,
the way he plays, I think he would check.
Interesting. You know, the thing about these bets, when you can get to the determination, the assertment, the assessment that you have, maybe the bet, it's kind of tricky, right? You can get people to hero call you because people that think it's so polar, where it's, oh, he's only got the nuts or nothing, and then you actually have like kind of a hand like that. It's tricky, right? You actually do sometimes get paid for value there, which is actually a, you know, sort of an advanced bet, where although it may seem like unnecessary, I don't hate it. I wouldn't do it myself, but I think that the merits for doing that are you know.
Yeah, I just don't like to open the door to face a raise that I'm not calling. So, and I don't see like Mario's call with like worse than flush. It's type like there's not reason to be a hero in this spot. So
And this is a shove. Novak here, who is, again, the ace-jack off. One of those uncomfortable ones you're very rarely dominating. Is he shoving ace-10 suited or something? But really, if he has king-queen, you don't love it. If he has nines or eights, you don't love it. So, and then you're dominating ace-queen, ace-king, queens, king. So this, I don't, 20, what's it, north of, just south of 20 blinds,
22, yeah.
19 blinds. This is not a just flicking call by any means. So I think Novak could get talked into a fold, but it's going to be very close. This is probably right on the stone bottom to call, and may even find it his way out. Ace jack suited, ace queen off kind of call here. So I think
I would like to see a call because I chose him, but I think he's folding.
Nice shove, king 10 suited, nice play, big, got a better hand to fold, very close spot, game inches, picks it up as we see another non-super premium holding. We've seen aces once.
I mean, how is to be married with a Brazilian?
How is it for, you're asking me, or to without a Brazilian?
Yeah, how is like the culture difference between Brazil and US? How you handle that at the beginning? Because right now you with her for a long time, is that right?
Yeah,
how
10
long
years.
have you married? 10 years. So
well, married 8 years, 10 years together. Yeah, it's great. We have a 5.5 and a 1.5-year-old, and it's amazing. I love the mix. And I'm from single, no brother, sisters, only child, and she's got, twin sister, 2 brothers that have 5 daughters, 3 siblings, and 3 siblings. So huge family, and it's
huge
nice.
family.
I love going to Brazil, and I love the culture, and I really do. It's a nice mix. I think it's really, really good. A little different. We live in South Florida though, so it's Latin. There's a lot of Latin influence there, so it's sort of a good mix. I think I gotta look at I've done like 630 days on Duolingo in a row, so I'm getting closer to speaking fluently. I understand a lot. I can speak some, but yeah, it's beautiful country and language. So yeah.
Your kids speaks Portuguese and English at home?
Yes. The 5.5-year-old is fluent in Spanish and Portuguese, and then the 1.5, he says like 15 words. It's a mix of everything, but he's working on it. But yeah, it's good. I'm learning like with my kids. It's
nice.
Yeah, I should speak already, but the problem is my wife speaks fluent English, right? So like Brian Rass, one of my closest friends, he actually taught me my first Portuguese word when I met my wife at Burning Man, which was saudades. He said to tell her after I'd met her, which is a very endearing Brazilian term. But his wife didn't speak any English and he didn't speak any Portuguese. So nice execution there from Arthur. Nice. The 8 check raise.
Yeah, he elected to limp with 8s.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Strong play. So yeah, anyway, that it's a little less of a necessity. I didn't need to learn it. Her family speaks English and everything, so it wasn't like a must, but I have been learning, and I do want to be able to speak fluently, and it's great. Similar to Spanish, right? So you kind of pick up a bit of that, and then you learn something new, and it's good. It's definitely good. Pretty soon we'll have the Neuralink anyway, right? We'll have the chip where we just everyone speaks everything, but it's fun exercise to learn. A nice 3-bet here, ace-9 on the ace-deuce. Good timing. This is something the best.
Timing.
He doesn't happen to have ace-queen. He doesn't happen to have jacks. He just has a worse hand, and he picks up. Also, ace-king suited, cooler than ace-queen, right? The button versus small blind. So timing working. Listen, when you're the number one in the number one tournament in the world, you're the number one 10 title holder. Timing, tempo, a little bit of luck goes in a long way, as well as being regarded as one of the best players in the world. That's a good combination. Everyone has a style. That is a good style to have, to be that. And he is in another good spot here. And Zubov with not a ton of fold. I don't know if he'll take it, but maybe king jack suited we would have seen for sure. King jack off. I think maybe
king queen off he would go.
Yeah,
maybe.
Good discipline there. Very close. Arthur just seems like a guy you don't want to play with. You know what I mean? I just feel like he's always he knows where he's at. He's just dangerous. He's not someone I'd want to. When I watch him, he just seems to always have the better hand, right? He's just like, even though he's not tight, he's playing a lot of pots. He's opening, he's in there. But like when the money goes in, he just, oh, it's ace king suited. Oh, okay, here dominating another guy, ace in the ace seven with the spade. This could get a little saucy too. Gets called. Ace king's still the best hand. And no player have a pair, both ace high, relatively late positions, the cutoff and the big blind. So now ace king, both players with a powerful spade. And this is interesting. Does Novak feel the need to bluff? He does have the spade. There's not a ton in the middle. This is interesting.
Yeah, no, after check turn, seems like Arturo has like ace high was not good. So seems like Arturo has a good hand, good better hand. So
also scary to play against and bluff the best, because like if he has a king of spades, let's see what he's going to come up with here, and he may sniff this one out. There is hands he beats, but it's not a particularly great board. But ace king is still beating some hands. What's going through his mind here with that king of spades? Is he thinking it's less likely as spade? Does he think that what hands?
yeah, I think he's thinking about like which range Andrew is like the bluffing here. Like spades got there, maybe 5-6 suited, 3-5 suited at like check call flop, check turn, and bluff a river. Some of them.
He's very curious. There it is. Calls class, just full class, just absolutely a terror at the table. This guy, man, just can't say enough about
He's like just too good. Now you have a real shot, 16-1, huh?
Did I bet him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's definitely not 16-1 now. He is essentially tied for second, I think, in three-way tie for second. So that 16-1 is a whole different ball it's a whole different ball game. And here, another hand for Niklas, not going to go well timing wise, going to run into it.
Yeah, I think you bet like 20 and it was almost 16. I think his odds was almost 16.
And Zubov with a kind of frustrating position here. He gets a ace jack suited, which is going to go with a lot of the time, but not with the raise and re-raise.
Wow, what's a decent? Yeah, his raise and re-raise. Yeah, just like if like just like a single raise, he would go.
Now, this is one of those hands where it's a super inviting hand, and that is interesting. I mean, there must be history here. You can see the merit, and also look at his stats, though. He only 3-bets 8% of the time, not like a crazy stat. So I'm a little surprised with the re-raise instead of just call, or I guess folding's not an option, and calling he prefers not to out of position. But again,
maybe it's because of the size. Niklas chose to like just he clicks.
So. With Niklas, I think that's more of a teaching moment than a questioning moment. But again, very interesting why the multiple choices are ABC and then D outside of the box. A lot of the time we see the players do things that, that's why I love the show and this program so much. Is so many times there's things that where I'm not even really considering that happen. And then when the greatest do it, you say, okay, why? Look at it, talk with your peer group, make a note. And check in about it, because those are the hands that are interesting. Like again, like here I'm saying, I lost ace king to ace 10 yesterday, bad beat, whatever. I was short, like it was that was my second bullet. It was at the end of the reg. It's a very standard hand. Guy open a shove, he has to call, it's all in. There's nothing to talk about. Like, sure, I should win the hand, it's great, unlucky, but that has nothing to do with the poker is won and lost, blind on blind, 3-betting light, making good calls, doing these things. That's the game. It's not about getting ace king to ace queen or ace queen to tens. Like those hands are just, that's the progression of it. That's going to happen. No one's going to really, I don't know, see a shaman or do some sort of dance or something that, help run better. But other than that, like that's not really what we're looking at. We're looking at spots to find ways to win chips, to chip up. Why do the best players have the chip lead? Why are you getting 8th place or 12th or being with 12 blinds at the end of the tournament, not with 100, or 60 blinds. So that is, I think, the key to poker, to be constantly working on your game. And if you're fixated on running bet or the flips or ace king ace queen not holding or these type of things, like that's, I would suggest strongly start looking at other parts of your game. It's usually not the last hand that matters. That's what matters.
And there's one more reason to rewatch this show after it ended, is because like there's no many big holdings here, so we're gonna learn a lot. I will rewatch this show to learn from them.
Yeah, I mean, we again just so many things, so many different players we can talk about. We haven't even really looked at their live earnings, how strong they are. I mean, I can start pulling it up. I mean, it goes across the board, like how insanely talented these players are, and how much earnings they have in terms of live earnings. I actually didn't even. I mean, I think Archer's one of the. He's got a crazy live earnings as well. I mean, he's one of the best players for sure in live poker. Plays all the highest stakes in the world. Sergey, Andre Novak. I know Zubov just had a nice score. Niklas had that $4 million live score as well in the main event.
What's your calling range versus MP? Ben I think it's a standard. They like to call with jacks. What do we do in this spot? Like MP open 40 blinds deep.
I like calling. I just think that
Me too.
There is some squeeze that some of the stack could squeeze. Some of these guys could, Diego could go all in or something. You could get like jam, and then also you get to not get blown off your hand, and also not get coolered and put a lot of chips in when he has queens or kings or aces. So I think this just kind of fits the bill here across the board, and now has a nice spot against the 6-4-4. Sitting good on this board. And the king is kind of a brick, really, other than king X of clubs, which might not even just be calling here on the 4-4-6 in this action. So, I mean, I think he's going to feel good. You worry about somehow a 4 potentially, but really you're feeling confident with jacks, I think, overall. You can have 5-7, these type of hands suited, and now river, turn check and get to the river with jacks, and not a super fun spot with Diego. I think you're just happy to try to check here. I guess
to try to check and see a check. But I think if we check, Ben's going for thin value versus 6 or a pair.
Yeah, the 8 does complete that draw on the 5-7 the flop, but no club comes, and Diego, I think he could go for a blocker bet too.
Block bet.
Possible.
For a check.
The thing is, 5-7 might bet big though, right? You wouldn't just blocker bet? Although when he checks the turn, he's sort of saying that he doesn't have an insanely strong hand. Ben's got a decision here. A guy who's not afraid to go for some thin value, certainly. I mean, yeah, it could also, like 8-7 could be in there. Like 8-7 might check raise the flop at 8-7.
Yeah.
So he does decide at the end of the day. 2 cubes, happy with the pot, picks it up, keeps command of the table, 3.2 million, and gets there to a river with the best hand. Another hand to look at. That's a close one. Do you value bet? Do you not there? You can kind of go both ways. He does check and win the pot. And ace-6 suited would have had a tough decision. Would have been a tough decision to call some bet. But takes it down. King 9 suited, Zubov. Been patient. Does he want to rip this in? I don't know. He's got still over 11. He's got 11 blinds, so a little too much to play there. I think opening, min-raising would have been an option, though.
I think is an option, but he's too early. I think I like to not to go with less than 10 blinds.
Yeah, you do want to have some raise folds off 11 and also some chances to get in there and make some chips, but he does not do that. And Queen 10 now for Simon. We've seen him open Queen 10 off a few times. He played that hand earlier against King 10 suited of Niklas and lost a healthy pot as he made the flush on the river. Could have seen an interesting river too, right? That was a hand where we could have seen some fireworks if played differently. As it stands now, Niklas going to hang in there with 4s. And again,
yeah.
600 watching. Let us know where you are watching the world. Rafa is in South Florida. I'm usually in South Florida. I'm in the Bahamas. Going to be playing a few more. There's a 10K Millions, GGMillions live edition in the Bahamas. If you're in the area in South Florida or thinking about want to play a tournament, there's still some more starting flights for that. It's a 5 mil guarantee. May overlay. I think they had to move or change the flight day yesterday, so they're doing 2 today, turbo and a regular, and then tomorrow they'll have one more flight as well. That is a 5 mil guaranteed 10K. So pretty nice tournament. It's a GGMillion title. I would love that. Would be a special one to do well and to win to get the GGMillion live to close out the year. So I'm excited to play that and get in there as we see Ace King 3-bet the Ace 4 off and Jacks though. Diego, I think we're going to do 5 here. This is going to go against the chip leader 3-bet in these positions. Jacks is a pretty strong hand. A little bit unlucky. He actually has, a fair fight with the Ace King.
He's going all in.
He is going all in, and Alexander looking for potentially a ladder on this flip. Ace King to Jack. Sergey, it's for most of the chips. Sergey still has 334 though, so certainly Alexander rooting for the Ace King as the 994 heart backdoor good for Kings. No heart sweat. Jack in the lead needs to fade 6 outs, which we know is less, as we saw Ben open Ace 4 off, but that is not any of that. That is a double up for Diego, and we're going to go closing on an hour with not anyone knocked out, and we have Sergey now very close stack to Alexander, the 2 short stack. So it's one of those days. Some days you got 5 knockouts, 4 knockouts in an hour, and then people get a little bit deeper quicker, and other times it's the blinds go up and no one gets knocked out, and then the blinds get big and it goes fast later. So as it starts, no one would take the day off as we are still 9-handed, and Martiresian is your most ignited player today. He has gotten up to a really healthy start after being short. So let's see if he's able to keep that pressure on and keep moving as he does fold King Jack and the small. I'd say these players are pretty aggressive. Like there's been some aggressive maneuvers. We've seen some action. I think Simon also not afraid. He's made some squeezes. He made that play with Queen 10 off on that board. He's shown us that he's definitely going for it, and he still has a healthy stack. So again, exciting group today. King 7 suited.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Ben's going to be pretty active too. He could get involved.
Ben was quiet for a while now. He opened ace deuce on the hijack, and now King 3 suited as a chip leader, as he should. He's more active now. Yeah,
this hand's too good to not shove as tied for the shortest risk premium. And again, this exact scenario, Ben's going to be opening ace deuce, ace 3, King 3 suited, these type of hands. So again, he's going to shove and Ben's going to get out of the way. Didn't have a hand to call. Nice pickup for Zubov now off the shortest. That will go to Sergey. Not a big matchup here. Again, ace, queen, queen 7 suited. Probably a fold to the small blind, big blind. I guess queen deuce suited. Not really fun to be playing that hand with shove stack, right? You don't really want to be opening queen deuce suited as king 5 takes a shot here. Marius, wheel spinner.
Yeah, Marius it is.
Multiple tables.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I mean, this is for Novak a bit of a decision. Yeah. Do you just go ahead and shoot it up? It's a very strong hand versus this position, or do you play it coy? And as we see, if you were to call, which seems a little bit too passive, you would give the king 5 a pretty good opportunity with the head.
Especially play against Arturo, so it's better to raise always. Arturo knows something else, Play against him with out of position is not a good sign.
Jack 8, not going to play queens, man. It seems unfair. I just think that it's like when you're the best, probably the most. I mean, he is regarded. I would say it's kind of hard to say who's the best. He's got the best results in this format, this tournament. But when you are that strong of a player and you're getting the strongest hands, it does feel a little bit wrong sometimes, right? Like you almost want to see what can you do with sort of less holdings. But here we go, ace 10 off, going to flat and slightly unconventional here. I think it's fine, but it does seem like
I
this
hope
is
so.
setting yourself up for tricky scenarios, and then you happen to be. I mean, Simon did show us the squeeze last time. He does call ace 5 off.
Yeah, I was hoping him to not get created this one.
Would have been bad timing, as it turns out. Queens get the 9-4-6 in a pretty good spot here for Artur.
Myrtle, he's got like overall the best hands. He got like aces, ace king in the right time.
Suited,
now I got queens.
Queens. I think he had queens one other time.
Yeah.
Queens earlier. So he's definitely got great distributions thus far. Novak with 10s here, and we are just not getting a lot of multiple way, multi-strength hands. This has been pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward with regards to no coolers, not too many coolers. And when we did it was the ace king, ace queen, and it was all in, and it was a shorter stack, so it wasn't a knockout or big punishment here, as 10's going to have a comfortable open. And Ben, big stack, 9-5 suited. Certainly worth a call. Comes with middle pair. Tens, ace 9-8, 2 key. Well, block some of the more draws, the clubs and the 10-jack. So
For the small side.
Ben now makes 2
Ben
pair.
got 7.
It's a very interesting turn.
I guess check, and maybe Ben bet river and 10's calls. If you bet big, I think Andrew just fold. Ooh. Now.
That's a frustrating river for Ben because
yeah, it is.
He still does have a 9.
Ace
9, 8, 5 ace. He is going to beat hands, and 10s. I think this is you lose to 6-7 as played. Unlikely 6-7 would check here, and you lose to ace, which is also a bit unlikely. I think your hand's almost a mandatory bet, right? You target a 9 and 8, a 5. The 2 pairs actually get counterfeited, which you happen to have.
I would go for a small size and then pin value, I guess the 9 and the 8.
Yeah. Yeah, you also have a club and you have 10, so you do have some hands that miss, right? Like the Jack 10 suited or missed clubs. So that's kind of nice when you get to bet this with 10s on an overpair to the 9 on the ace 9 8 5. This is a good bet, definitely a good bet. And Ben actually could look it up.
And you miss your draws there, and you bet. So 10s, jacks, and queens has to bet as well.
Yeah, so I don't blame the call. When you have the 9-5 and your opponent could easily have some missed draws or turn hands into bluff. So nice value from Novak. Action going. We got the giveaways to do. We got to be ready. Thumbs up. Put the energy out. I know we got ourselves a lightning, absolutely electric final table today. So let's see if we can get it moving a little bit. Still 9-handed, an hour into the show. Welcome in. If you're new, please say hello. Please let us know where you're watching from. And this is crazy. It is an absolutely. I think
it's good for the show to have like good holdings. Like I said, when you have like this type of distribution, it's good to learn, but like to have the excitement on the show, we need to see some coolers, some big holdings, big pots. It's nice to see that, to get some adrenaline. against the tip leader. I think like he's just going. It's the same against Arturo versus the big blind Andres. So.
Can do so. I mean, there's no ace on this distribution. I mean, I think it's gonna storm soon. There's gonna be some massive fireworks because we have seen out of all the distributions, I think this is the most exciting and best final table we've had, and this has been the least powerful hands we've seen. So something's gonna just kind of heating up. We're gonna get it moving, cranking. When everything aligns, that's when we're gonna see fireworks. But it's been still people getting aggressive, considering there hasn't been a ton of premiums so far.
That's are my thoughts when I'm playing. I'm getting like just trash hands. I said like we'll turn up. Just hold, keep your patient, discipline, and we'll turn up. And I think it's gonna happen here. Yeah, that's a battle between similar stacks. Yeah, with Sergey with short stack and Zubov, the middle stack has to play really cautious.
Yeah, that's another thing. Sort of how the chips break right now. This is ace-9 suited, pretty good hand here for 6 blinds, and with extra, you get the extra 2.5 in the middle, and you hope no one else comes in. I think this is definitely going to be definitely a call. Yeah,
Definitely
nice.
call.
A good spot for the
Versus
flip.
the cutoff, yeah.
Money covers. Can he knock out and put Sergey in as our 9th? That is a pretty good situation for the 7s as a, was that 9 or 10? He has a full house, so he needs a 9 or 10. It's a 3 across. That's a 6. That is going to be a double. Sergey, hey, sometimes no one wants to go home. I respect that. This is a historic final table. I don't blame him. No one wants to leave. That is now Zubov chipped up a bit. He's still got 11 blinds at the next blind level. Sergey at 580, and everyone kind of blended together here. No runaway train. Lot to play for. Zubov king 10 suited under the gun. A questionable hand, but maybe just not quite enough. Just too many people to act, or does he want to? I mean, decides to come in. So interesting. He raises king 10 suited, but not king 9 suited from a different position. Maybe just sort of leveraging that old button under the gun is the new button kind of mentality, right? You get to look stronger, maybe get some king queens to fold, or king jacks, and you just ace 10 off to fold. So you accomplish a few things, and now here he goes. He's got himself an ace to fold and a good pickup to cover his blind and ante for the orbit there. He gets that through as an important one. And again, also maybe just see it. No one has anything all day. No hands. King 10 suited is a monster right now. That no real premium still here. Dealt ace 10 now. Ace 3 from Ben. Going to go ahead and kick it up. And Artur, a guy that's not afraid to battle, is going to let Ben get away with that. He let him get away with the king 7 suited, king 3. And now Ben with a slightly better hand.
That's again. If Ben doesn't open and Arthur open, do you think you see Zubov doing something with king jack off versus the button?
Yep. Yeah, I think that would have been the likely. Ace 3, king jack does again. He's similar. This is almost deja vu against board of ace high. He has a gut shot again. This time Ben actually has top pair instead of queen high. This time king jack is definitely not folding for that size, although he doesn't love it, right? He's got to hit a 10. It's not a club for the nuts, and he actually does get out of the way. A little different situation here than last time with the board. So interesting. Does fold, preserves the chips, and he would have needed to hit 4 outs. And here we do see a big, all right, there we said we haven't had a real big collision. This is going to be a flip. Queens to ace king. Sergey going to be on the chopping block again. Artur with another very strong hand. He's getting premiums. He's getting ace kings. He's not getting like the ace jack suited and the 7s. He's getting the real deal stuff. As we see, a king is not in this, going to be in the deck as king 8 suited will fold, and queens. I mean, honestly, if he doubles here, Sergey doubles here, that's going to even tighten everything up even more. It'll be a million. Arthur and him would consolidate. So I don't know if that happens. We would literally have everyone between 2.7 and 500, and Zubov the only short stack if that remains. Or we'll see Arthur shoot up to over 2.3. Let's see what happens on the flip. Ace king to queens. That is an ace and a queen again.
There's a second time that he got a flip and he makes a set.
Needs to fade the jack, and it is a just no paint, no sweat, no problem. Full house for Arthur and ace, but not enough. Ace king, no good on ace, queen 10. That is pretty nasty. Queens full and 1.2, 1.1, 1.4, 1.3, 1.4, 2.7, 1.1. This is almost like this feels like a flip and go where everyone is in the moment and come in and it's like a shootout. We're at a shootout right now. This is wide open. Take those odds from the GG client and reshuffle
Just
right now.
Man is above.
Wide open. This is completely wide open, and it's too close to call. And Zubov even going to chip up here more and make his stack from the short stack to get up a little higher. Really crazy. Is it good enough to min raise, right? Not shove, or do you still just go for the shove? I think it's good enough.
I think I'll just go for the shove. I can make like worse hand calling me like ace, maybe ace 10, ace jack.
That's one I'd like to look at. I'm curious on maybe ace king suited. Do you min raise and not shove? Is it that close, or it's still just a rip? It's really interesting. And again, those are big differences in a game. It's also player dependent. You might have notes. Players like to call more. They call shoves light. They do. There's a lot of little nuances at this level when you're playing against the same people frequently in big buy and small field. You might play a little differently than if you're playing your nightly $20 rebuy or whatnot. So just again, keep that in mind. Realize that this is the elite, and you need to make some adjustments in big main event fields, large fields, smaller buy-in, then small field, high buy-in. Ben, king 3 off. Could see him shoot this up. I like that. The big little unsuited covering. ICM is so massive right now, right? With everyone being so close in the middle there. So I like this a lot. Novak, I'm actually a little surprised raised there, jack 9 off into Ben. I guess it's pretty standard, but I just think that he's going to get some adversity. I guess he kind of has to open, right, for 20-40 with his stack, jack 9 button, take a shot. Ben not having it though. Gonna keep the pressure on there.
Yeah, and Ben is not like 3-betting a lot, so I think he could go. After a couple 3-bets, he would not like open. It's not like open anymore, just fold. But Ben was just flatting him like the last 2 times. Ben just flat him.
King 3 suited, jack queen. Here we go.
Yeah, just the second.
Open tight 3-bet light, open light 3-bet tight. Ben is showing us some of his game. Jack queen off here, going to put pressure again. Novak on the same guy 2 in a row. Frustrating, right? When you get it twice.
It's frustrating, and this is one difference between play online and play live. If you 3-bet 3-4 times in the live scene, people get mad with you. They want to play more against you. But I think online, and this is a classical word player, but I think online people like let it go more easily than live.
Yeah.
Sergey is feeling really well. He got like 2 doubles, 2 flip, and 1 both. So he's feeling good.
He's back at 1.1. Yeah, 30 bigs exactly. 1.2 about jack 8, Diego. Someone I'm not as familiar with. I'm going to look up Diego Zelter. You said you didn't know much about his game either, right?
No.
He's got 1.5 million in cashes, plays like a lot of 2Ks, 5K sort of live. He's had some good scores, but plays a lot. There's a lot. Jack 8-5. Oh, wow, what a board for 4-5 suited. I mean, there is almost no chance he doesn't win this pot just off purely taking it down, let alone just the equity is strong, but Jack 8 doesn't have anything really to claim on this board. So Diego is thinking about how to play if he just wants to call or raise.
I think the thing about the size, he definitely would raise. Which side do you use against this type of 20-some% bet?
I mean, I'd probably go. I don't think you have to go so crazy big. I might go like, yeah, maybe I would have gone even smaller than that, but I think like
180.
Yeah, 180. But that I mean, effective there. There's just he knows he's riding with that hand. He's going to be playing that one to the river, and he just took it down on the boom. Here we go. Here's a few hands. Ace, queen,
Here
six
goes,
is
yeah.
Ben with
I will
king.
have some.
This is like this is a cooler, not just king ace queen cutoff versus small blind, but chip leader who is so wide. We've seen him king three suited, you know, three betting queen jack off, three betting king three off, and so now he gets kings, and you have ace queen. You're the small blind. This is not fun. This is not fun because your hand is. It might as well be kings or ace king suited here. Like versus this situation, this is nasty. Ace queen off though, as we know, is a problematic hand, and the I just don't know. Like the problem is, are you three betting to fold? Probably not. So it's like,
yeah, that's he's debating between three bet or like just go for it. I don't know. 30 bigs.
Still vulnerable, right, Ben? Although like he's
it's because the Zubov has just like 13 bigs. Is kind of.
Wow, Ben, gonna like to see it, but again, still has to fade. Huge pot, chip lead pot at risk. Ace queen off against kings. Kings gets the flop they want. Nasty turn, needs to find a king now on the river after a dirty run out, and that is not paint. That is a mass. I mean, it's so brutal because you can't blame Diego for shoving. Ben, it's sort of frustrating. Like you just playing aggressive. You're literally constructing a perfect final table, right? You're getting your bluffs through. You're putting pressure on his chip leader. You're opening light, and then you get a spot where you actually have the goods. Someone steps in and rips it, and now all of a sudden you're in the middle of the pack, right? 1.7. I guess he's still in second as chips have shuffled. Still fine, but that was for a complete run over of the table. That would have been a massive moment for everyone.
Yeah, he would have like 4.3, which is really good for me as well.
And you have Zubov who's short, and everyone else is kind of handcuffed in the exact same stack. So that was a nasty run out. Again, Ben, big chip lead to start, take some adversity. That's one of the reasons why you get chips, is to withstand those type of beats and hands, or take a big flip, take a big, favorite, and doesn't always go your way. It's just how things work. But when you are a chip leader, you can withstand it. And he's still in second. So that's what I found. Tell me how you feel on this, Rafa, mental side of poker, how important it is, this Elliott Rowe type of thought process about every hand's a puzzle. Hey, I'm chip leader. All right, now you're not. Oh, that's unfair. Like I should have won that, whatever. Like you got it now. Okay, now I have 1.7. I'm in second now. New hand.
Yeah.
New hand,
what Yes, what I try to do is like always play my stack and like just let it go. Like, oh, we have whatever 30 big blinds. How can I play my best with 30? And I start to think about my strategy, and automatically my tilt go, my bad thoughts go away, And that's my tricky. I trick to myself to let it go the last hand and go for the next one. What the best I can do with 20 big blinds? What's my strategy? And then we go. And 30 seconds, a minute after that, you were good to go. But I've seen people struggling, especially in the live scene. If you have like 100 big blinds, you go down to 60 and you're still the chip leader. And people guys like, oh my God, I'm so unlucky. He hit the ace on the turn. And then in your next hand, you're not playing your best because you're getting to it. What about you? Do you have some thoughts that you bring to yourself to go away from the bad situations?
I mean, look, hold that thought. I do. I'm going to tell you that, but we have a mystery hand, always fun. And again, with the best of the best here, this is a treat. Let's see King, Queen suited. Now, Ben, speaking of mindset, one of the best, has a mindset, of course, even within Razor Edge. So you just come off a nasty beat. You may appear tilted. It's important to know how you appear at the table, whatever, right? Here we go. King, queen suited. Sergey going to go ahead and 3-bet. This is a bit of an aggressive 3-bet because of the positions.
Yeah.
You have players behind. You have Ben, who's in second. Of course, he's still opening probably a bit wide, maybe a tiny bit of tilt, although we got to give him the benefit of the doubt as a consummate professional. And now 3-bet king, queen suited. So this is you are dealing with, okay, look at that, already instantly a player behind gonna 4-bet. So we have got ourselves a mamma mia. This is this interesting spot here, as Alexander is going to be in the small blind. You still have Novak to act, Ben, who we'll see if he's got, nope, he's out. And now Sergey, what do you like here? This is not the way you drew the hand up. So now you're out of position facing an additional raise.
Yeah, I think it's ambitious to king queen suitor, like just raise early position. I don't think Ben is like widening up. I think he's tightening up after he lose that hand. And then you 3-bet, you gotta like a small 4-bet that you have to does not have to, but like you have the odds to continue. So, and what do you think about this board? It's not the best one for king queen, but
I just don't know enough about Diego here. Does he have like, some ace-5 suited that I don't think he does in this spot, right? It's early position raise,
so
shorter stack 3-bet. I think he's just going to be weighted towards aces, maybe as ace-king suited. You do have a king, so you block that possibility. Now you get king-queen. This is sort of the problem with calling these out of position. You get basically one of the better flops other than, a flush pair and a flush draw, hitting a straight or a pair, straight draw pair. Like you're really guessing now, and you're smoked to kings or aces, although you block kings, and you're just you're in no man's land.
what do you think about the size when he 4-bets pre? Do you think he would like 4-bet the same size with like ace king off? Because it was like a small size. Yeah,
Maybe
I
not.
don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. I think it's mostly aces and kings
Yeah,
and ace king suited.
Yeah, and then you have king. So yeah, you basically beat ace king suited and you lose to aces. So it's sort of like you're in this, and then now you pick up a little bit of backup with the 10 would make you a straight, but then that would actually make ace king their hand. So it's, again, not a great spot in poker when you're sort of not sure what you want to have happen. And I think we can all feel this spot where it's a bit of a problem, right? And this is,
and it's a half SPR, so
whoa, what do you do here? What are you doing, Rafa?
like I said, it's such a narrow range that he has like an ace king off, but like ace king off, I think he would like just raise bigger. We're playing against aces, kings that we block. Some of them, it's really bad spot. I don't like it.
I hate it, and I'm going to say fold, but I just don't. Yeah, I just don't. I think because of the Ben raise and the small 3-bet from this player, I think he is chip leader, but I don't think he's got like the ace-5 suited here or something. It just doesn't seem like that's a possibility. No. So yeah, ace king or aces. That's where I'm going with, and I just think that he does have aces here. That's my read. But hey, I also give people maybe too much credit, and we'll see. Let's see. We're gonna get to see either way.
I would fold. If I got in this spot, I would not like 3-bet early position, but if I got in this spot, I would fold.
Sergey, definitely an elite mind. He is going to use some clock here. Can't blame him for burning that, as we get to see what he will come up with.
Especially when he calls the continuation bad, like his aces, yeah.
All right, we were aligned there. I think that just too strong of positions there. I think we have. I don't blame the call though. The king queen suited. I think he played it great actually. He after he 3-bet, which is aggressive. He did then have to kind of call, and then he hits the queen. He has to call. He picked up outs, and then he had a tough decision there.
But against this is small 4-bet in this situation, when like early position open, you were short stack and you 3-bet, you got a 4-bet. He was hoping to hit like 2 pairs flushes or straights. 1 pair hand is like almost never good in there. Oh, nobody got Diego. Is that right? You got Diego? No. You got Nick. You got Lena, Arturo, and what's your player? The third player.
I took Martiresian, Niklas, and Gears, I believe. Marius.
Yeah, Maris.
All in a
So you
row.
got those.
I got
Yeah,
murderers row there. You got Ben, Novak, and was it Diego?
Simon.
Who?
Simon.
Simon. Yeah.
Yeah, he was second chips. And the 50 million they hit the guarantee was like short. I don't look at the final numbers in Bahamas. They hit the 50 million.
I believe it was just shy, maybe like 40 or 20 something shy. So I mean, basically a hit. They count it, and I mean, it was like a success. But yeah, I think very
It's
ambitious.
impressive. Yeah, we have like a WPT at the Las Vegas, just the end of the EPT, and you got like really close to 50 millions. Impressive.
Yeah, I poker live. Poker in general is in such a great place. Obviously, the WSOP online just now breaking records, setting insane precedent for what's happening. So it's awesome. I think poker is really growing, and a lot of cool content with poker now too. It's awesome. It's in a great place.
Want to put you in a bad spot. What do you think about bracelet online and live in Las Vegas? Do you think there's a weight between online, live?
You're saying would you put the bracelet online and live at the same?
Yeah.
Should be the same or should be a different?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is a great question, and I asked this a lot with people just to get their opinion, players and whatnot. I do think that there's a lot of argument that online's a lot trickier. Like it's even it can be harder to win online, and the fields are tougher potentially. But I do think there should be like an asterisk, not as in like doesn't count or not as prestigious, but I think there should just be some like it should be a note. You know what I mean? If you have whatever bracelets, there should be a note that it was online, almost like a set. Like it should just be like Catarite World Series bracelet, online bracelet. They still both count like as bracelets. You get one, but there's a distinction, and noted that. I mean, to be fair, there is some stuff I don't agree with too. Like Pennsylvania, I know there's some of those tournaments that had like 20 players, 30 players going a bracelet, right? This type of stuff. I think that there needs to be some sort of cutoff on total entries, buy-in level, or prize pool. Like there should be some sort of cutoff on like what actually qualifies, and if it doesn't reach the mark and they put it out there, that it doesn't count. Like, hey, this is going to be an online bracelet, need 50 entries or need 100 entries, need this total prize pool, whatever it is. So this is going to be called Ace Jack Sergey again. This time he is ahead, has to fade some running clubs, a jack. There is chops now. Queen 5 would split that up, jack to win it. Otherwise Sergey going to go ahead and looks like will be yearly holding and getting us to still 9-handed, coming up on an hour and a half into the show. So again, kind of crazy. Zubov, if he can double, we're really just all united here.
And Zubov is holding on, and then Sergey he's like just he cannot lose all ins. He's on the right way, not all ins.
Crazy. Yeah, he's sweating some pay jumps. 35K min, 252 going to the winner. A couple of these guys still battling in here in the Bahamas flags. Again, the guys played down here, 25K, 50 mil. I think Zubov's still in. Someone was saying maybe he's got the laptop. Actually, it's funny. I saw him. Yeah, so I was playing with him, and he was he? I don't think it was it? What day was it? Yesterday? No, Monday. No, not okay. So if someone was on a laptop playing, that was on my table. Was playing something else. It wasn't the Sunday tournament here, but it is a little distracting if you're in the 25-50 mil, and then you're also here. I guess it's not play one table and hopefully have some easy decisions. But this is definitely a nice sweat if you're in this final table plus the 50 mil still. Novak with kings. Going to get a customer from Niklas in the big blind. Not really a fair fight. Out of position with the worst hand, but flushes straights possible. Let's see if he gets a interesting board. He's not going to be folding. Not super interesting.
Yeah, some flush backdoors, towards maybe versus small bet.
Novak, pretty aggressive stats, 31 VPIP. You can see how that compares with Niklas. Niklas with about a 2-to-1 lead. Earnings on the GGMillion. That's just GGMillion earnings, not GG earnings, which is a crazy numbers for both these guys. As I mentioned, 145 million plus in earnings amongst the 9 players today. King's going to come on betting, and Niklas knows this board. He could get saucy, backdoor spades. King 10 could be good, and he does do that. Also realizing that, you know, he could put a hand such as ace king, ace queen, ace jack, king queen in a tough spot. So I think something we noticed with Niklas and some of these really elite players, they do check raise a lot out of blinds. They're really aware of what their range is on the board and the position. And here they're running into it. Novak, if he could just call, would have Niklas in really bad shape, needing runners, and could improve and not want to. So let's see what he comes with here.
I would bet like a small size than 120 to induce Niklas like a 3-bet, because we most expecting him to. He had like a lot of 3 check raise in there. So, but he went like for 120, which is on the big side, and still got a 3-bet.
Yeah, well, that'll end it, and Niklas gonna move on there from that hand.
What would do? Just flat and let Niklas, because the pot would be big. Pot would be like close to 1 SPR if he flat with kings.
Yeah, it's close. Kings for Zubov, and good news is gonna pick this pot up. Bad news, not have a customer, but again, important pot. Every pot when you're that short, you do just chip up when no one plays. So 615 now. What's he got? 15 blinds. I mean, this is it's funny. You see, okay, a little bit of smaller field size, big events going around the world, including here in the Bahamas, the 50 mil, but you're like, oh, this could go fast or whatever. But then it's funny, like this is actually so far might be a record for an hour and a half with not one bust out, and really no one like desperately short, and the stack's pretty even. So we have got ourselves a battle. This is one they want to win. This is one of bragging rights. Players know each other. There's a lot of accolades here going around. We'll have 20 total titles after today's over with the group, over average of 2 per player. Blinds are up 25-50. Should see some fireworks here now. The 25-50 level, again, starting to get some players short, 20 blinds or less, 12 blinds for Zubov. Niklas also now at 16, 15 and a half. And aces over there hiding, didn't even see it. For Artur. Look at this guy. I mean, what I'm saying, he's definitely got the strongest distribution. He's got the best results, and now he's got aces against the chip leader, and he is going to go for a small 3-bet. Which is frustrating if you're Diego. You're like, look, I'm gonna try to get one through. Maybe I get in a big blind defend, play a pot. You know Artur knows that you're the chip leader, gonna open light, and you're kind of thinking like, oh man, like he could just be leveraging that. So there's a world where he talks himself into, leveling himself to put a small 4-bet in, because he knows Artur he's like that, right? He's gonna have just 3-bet folds even off that stack, but discipline. Diego doesn't parlay open into any more chips funneled out. But nice timing for Artur again. Nice to get the best hand in poker and have action in front of you.
And I think like because of the bad distribution, that's why we still have like 9 players. I think in this level, things will turn around and we're gonna have some coolers and some big hands playing.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to remind everyone the tweet is available, $50 Jeff Gross Poker. Ace deuce suited, king queen fair fight here. It is wide open. Will we see our first knockout? Need a 10 king queen running clubs or ace deuce to double. There's the max sweat.
10 king queen and clubs.
Club. Is it too many outs or just enough? It looks like it might have been. Ooh, it's a 4 cross. 9. That is too many outs. That is, take a picture at home. You can't get much more even right now. No one has, well, I was going to say less than $1 million. Niklas does have 720. So we are going to play more poker. Let's do a little run around the rosy here. We got from the chip leader, Diego, 2.7. Niklas, 700. Okay, that's our high and low. 1.1, 1.2, 1.1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.5, 1. That is not going to get much more even than that stack size. Like I said, close to a shootout from this point on, minus Diego and Niklas. I mean, look, Diego doubles Niklas, and then we got literally, you can't get anything tighter. And there's a good chance those guys do tango here as the big stack, short stack in their position. So let's see. Here we go. No one with a king high even. Queen 4 off all the way down.
We're not gonna see any bust out in this level because everybody's even, almost even. We're gonna play one more level to see.
2-7 suited, Queen 4, Ben and Simon, 2 Austrian flags. I always mention Austria. What do they have? 3 or 4 players at the final table today? Is that right? Is it 3 or 4? 4 it looks like. So
3,
Austria and Brazil lock up 2-3 spots at least. So today there's 4 all from Austria. Again, a lot of the best players in the world are from Germany that then move or locate to Austria via the laws and regulations similar to the US for Canada or Mexico. And yeah.
I didn't check the lobby, but I think the Brazilians there are in the Bahamas. Most of the big names are in Bahamas, so I don't think they played this tournament this week. I know Yuri is in Bahamas, Agent is Bahamas, PV Guard in Bahamas, Bruno Volkmann, Bahamas, Rodrigo Celoan, Bahamas, Kowalski in Bahamas. That's why we are not seeing a Brazilian flag.
All right, everyone, again, there's the link to the Twitter if you want a $50 shot at cash. That is cash, not necessarily, it's not a ticket. It'll be anyone's eligible to win. You just got to retweet. Guess who wins today. And I'll tell you what, you don't have to guess it right, but it is going to be hard to guess. This is literally wide open. I mean, it's just, when you talk about an Artur or Benjamin, you talk about a Novak or an Astedt or Marius or Zubov, like how much skill really separates these guys? You know, what notes or what frequencies do they have or understanding? Is it the weakness in the small blind versus, the big blind? Do they call it like, you can't imagine there's too much to separate this level of player at this stage.
This is like we talk about is like world-class players. I was talking with Renan Bruski. He's on the chat right now. We have like qualified chat. This Internet 93, one of the best players in the world. I talk a lot. When I have a doubt, I go to him. He's like really good on that. He's almost a solver. So he's in the chat. Abraço, professor. Tamo junto. And I send the lineup to him, and he's like, it's a really tough final table.
Yeah. Oh no, this is. I'm gonna start. Because there's times I'll like total it. I'm like, oh, it's 60 million, and GG earnings are 40 or 50 or 70, maybe like I for sure have not seen this much. It's possible it's happened, but like I've never seen.
Yeah, this is almost 150 million in earnings just in GG. This is insane good.
Crazy stuff. I guess at some point we'll have a $1 billion across the board, right? If you take the live online of all the sites and all this, like it's, start getting.
Yeah, imagine that. Poker is going to that for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be $1 million rebuys in a few years. Who knows? The Triton always pushing the envelope, doing cool stuff as we see a Diego 3-bet. So again, a player that's showing us Zider who is putting pressure on, and Novak has gotten a little bit of a rough go here. He's gotten 3-bet a lot on his opens, and not all premium hands. We've seen King 3 off, 3-bet him, Queen Jack off, 3-bet him, Ace 5 off. I think we did see his stats. I believe he does VPIP a bit higher than some of the other players, and I wonder if there's a bit of that where he's getting people note that he opens a little wider than normal, and he is getting 3-bet and a lot. Maybe that's part of that.
Yeah, and I think at this time people are watching the show as well. How long we are late? Our
Good 30,
delays
about 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Look at the king six off min raise here off 12 blinds from Niklas. A little surprised by this, but he does get called. And here's a reason he gets to construct a situation where he's actually dominated. And on the 3-4 queen, pretty dry board, maybe just gets to bet, take it down as king nine Marius might be getting got here. He also could get creative, sticky, and or check raise, but not with that board on the not really many backdoor situations there. So nice again. Just another perfect example of a player when you think, oh, Niklas is so good or he runs so good, like, okay, he's fine. Are you opening? Are you going to min raise 12 blinds, king jack, king six off with Archer on your left? And
Well, now maybe I don't know, not anymore. If he passed to Diego, we would have some fireworks.
yeah, and this Archer with the raise from the chip leader, not going to be too worried about that. Niklas shoving and knowing that he's shoving a bit wide. I think it's just too much hand to fold at the same time. He's basically putting himself in. So he's going to take ICM into consideration there and just says, hey, I'm not going to put the majority of my chips on the line, calling off, flipping at best, dominated sometimes. And Niklas gets an amazing result there, picks it up and gets a better hand to fold. And that's going to put him and Archer at 1 million flat. Look at Marius. There's literally, what's that? It's like 5 players in a row with the exact same stack. 1 million, 1,011,000, 1,052,000, 1,022,000, and 1 million. It's 5 players within like 50,000 chips of each other. Also, Sergey with 1 million on the dot. So 6 players have 1 million right now. I mean, you could snapshot that. That at 1 hour in 37 minutes into a final table of the GGMillion, you have 6 of the 9 players with 1 million.
And
literally.
It's a bit more equal. We have a small and big blind with the same hand.
This is
Jack and there's Jack.
This is pretty strong. Pretty strong. And again, for the 20 blinds, it's just going to be all in, and both players are going to have 2 flush draws. Actually, not one dominating, one suit. So there could be a sweat. I feel a sweat coming. I don't know if it's going to be a good sweat. Diamond, so he's a slight favorite, needs the running. There it is. This could be our first KO, and in a very dirty way. River, slow, peel, please. No, that wouldn't have made sense. We would have had a separation of stacks, and now that's 6 1 million club. Pretty nutty distribution here. As Simon also around that amount. So basically, Ben and Diego. I mean, it's like Ben and Diego versus everyone with 1 million. That's sort of how it shakes out. This is super wild. Super.
It's supposed to be Ben with 4 million and everybody else with 1 million, but it's okay. So I was really not diamond because Andrew is one player that I chose, and Renan gave me the Andrew. I was talking with him. He said like Andrew is a really good player. Said, okay, everybody is good, but Andrew is something else.
It is funny that it happens to be like the most stacked ever and no one is going out. It's almost like showing, oh, they play that good, or no one wants to make mistakes, or it's just very interesting. This is a record for sure. An hour. We're coming up on 1 hour and 40 minutes of play with no one out, and no one's short right now either. It's going to take a little something to get 20 blinds in, and we just saw ace jack, but this is a problem for Simon. He is going to be moving his way towards the exit. Likely here, he is making an aggressive play with 6 high, although this might let him get off with the 6 high flush draw and not go crazy. But if he peels, okay, yeah, that wouldn't make peel when you can see it as played. Gets out. All right, king queen suited. Diego certainly playing that chip leader, and he is going to see adversity from Andre, who may get to 3-bet this time. He's been getting 3-bet a lot. And takes it down.
Back to 1 million.
Yeah, Queen Jack suited. Again, getting to play some fun hands. Gonna find yourself in some tough spots. Ben here, sort of an interesting one with ICM. Really, again, they're 1 and 2 with all the stacks relatively the same. Just gonna call. He does have the best hand dominating. Queen Jack suited does pick up backdoor flush draw and a gut shot. So this is a bit tricky for Ben, and he's just gonna have to respect that. Nice situation. Good bet.
Especially versus under the gun, even though he's a cheap leader, but like he's under the gun. He's not like opening.
Right. Anything. Yeah. Nice pickup. Audience, they got to be getting a kick out of this. This is definitely unique. This is super, super, super unique. Where is the... All right, I'm going to go...
So Jeff, you have been like so many shows like that. Do you think this one they have like the worst distribution in the GGMillions in the first like maybe hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, I've never seen it. One other time I saw something similar at some point, but certainly not this far in with no knockouts and 6 out of the 9 all the same. Really 7 out of the 9. Basically what at one point was Simon too, but here we go. This is gonna not work well. Diego needs running clubs where the board doesn't care, and he is now hopefully maybe just slow down here. Let's see what he does, but he is barking up the wrong tree. Artur with the goods. He is officially a 0% chance to win the hand. Artur with Jack 4-5 is gonna feel comfortable and wonder what he bets here. I guess
I think with this almost one, yeah, I would say is really small bet or like even like check behind.
Yeah, this is not fun for Diego. He's like completely just guessing, could be drawing dead like he is. Is going to call the 8, going to call in the river. So backdoor hearts come through, but for all intents and purposes, Artur is comfortable. Too good to not bet, right? As played, I mean, you're losing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess is there a world where he has 6-7 and he check raised and then picked up a draw, or hearts check raised, picked up a draw? But I still think you just, yeah, your value is you beat pretty much all the jacks and maybe 4x. I don't know if you have to go big here. Maybe he doesn't go huge. Maybe just bet something small.
Yeah, I think he goes for like kind of like a small size. He's starting like pairs. And like if Diego has a jack, I don't think Diego will look check raise flop and check turn and check river. So
He could though. I guess there is some world where he has like Jack 9 or 8 or 7 or something, but like probably it's so unlikely that you raise here. I think Artur really is just baiting on all options. Checking would seem insane. He's gonna bet. He does check. Wow. I mean, interesting, very interesting. Again, just sort of we're also recognizing, I think that's something interesting that players don't think about enough, is the situation. And it's like, all right, if I go to 1.4, I'm actually like in third, and what hand do I get called with that's worse there? Which again, so you keep that box, and there wasn't one, or in that particular hand he wouldn't have got caught, and there is hands he loses with, and now he's in third place, and basically
maybe.
And
maybe like Diego has like some of like a check raise with a backdoors on the flop and hits on the river because it was a hard heart. You would think about some hand that Diego has that has check raise flop and check turn and hit the river. Do you think Diego is capable like just like check the river with flushes? Kind of narrow because check raise flopping.
I don't know. That's tough. If the board's paired, but like, I mean, maybe it's just hard. I think that's the thing when Artur also gets people to freeze a bit. Yeah. He's sort of in that unicorn land of people are scared, worried. They think that he just knows like really where exactly you're at and stuff. So I think there's a little bit of that too, or maybe people get a little gun shy, and sometimes he has to be careful not to over, value himself, like where he bets in the spot where someone's like checking or is a little scared but is going to call. So it's just, important to know what you're perceived at the table, as Niklas just comes right in with the light 3-bet ace-6, just clockwork. Like, hey, chip leader, again, going to have a wide range, ace-6 off. He's going to just fold most of the time. Does Diego just rip it in here ever? Or is he just going to say, you know what, I got 3 mil, let everyone be kind of equal and move on? Doesn't want to call out of this hand. So he does just fold. A little bit of respect there. He's got a tough seat. Remember how the chip started and where the chip lead was and what was happening. It was Ben was 1, Simon was 2, correct? Now Simon is our short stack, 9-handed. So he has not had a good go here. This is definitely like a redo he would like to redo. Zubov was very short. He's having a good final table, up to 20 blinds, 9-handed, right in the thick of it. And really, I'd say Simon, not great. If you come in second and you end up somehow getting 9th, that's tough, right? That's a tough outing. But a lot of poker to play. He's still in it, still plenty in it.
And a lot to learn. I have been learning a lot on this final table. Really good. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, brother. Anytime, man. Pleasure to have you, and we'll be doing it again for sure, and hopefully playing some live stuff soon. I'm sorry, you said the next time you have the next live series. What's the lock confirmed for you?
January in South Florida. Nice. It's WPT at Hard Rock, and then Las Vegas. Then I have to go to Brazil, then come back and go to the World Series. It's the best time of the year for me, WSOP.
Of course, so much fun. And now too, with the technology and registration and all the different things happening at the World Series and GG combining forces. If you didn't catch that, the GG bought WSOP for $500 million. That deal closed August 1st, and even the final next stages happened recently as well. So that is a partnership that is electric, and we are going to see an electric bet, man. Diego poking on Artur here. If you're Artur, like, that's one of those spots where your hand's pretty good for this situation, but when you start getting pressure on the turn, you don't have a diamond, I think you got to call, right? You unblock diamonds. You got 7s. Like, sure, you're going to get shown 10s plus sometimes, but also I don't know if 10s, jacks just go crazy there. So I just very interesting. And Diego going to wave the white flag. And Artur, bad news for everyone. Your short stack, you're one of the shortest, is now one of the big ones. He is in second with 2 mil. Diego has a little bit of a problem with really tough players on his left. Ben is at 1.7, and we have a wide open ball game right now, just absolutely wide open.
I got a chance to pick up Artur. I reread it. Can I change?
Might have to repick that. Yeah, we might have to do it. We have a new draft at some point. We're over an hour 45, not one knockout, and everyone's really sitting pretty healthy. This is I like historic things. We got a historic one going right now. We might, we could see some history today. This could be it is funny. Like, I guess that's not really what determines the length of these. So sometimes we've had super quick shows and a lot of chips or entries, and sometimes you have like a show that goes for a long time and it's not as many entries, and just how it works with the distribution of chips. So again, 30-60, no one out. Ace-3 suited for Benjamin in the big blind. And not much hand here. Queen-9 suited going to open. Artur going to start taking control a little bit. Zubov with ace-9 off. Gets out of the way. Novak ace-6 off, not going to tango. And this is a battle of the Titans, also the battle of the second and third stack as ace-3.
We're just running good.
This is an interesting board, though, for sure. Ben's going to stick in here. He's got the gut shot for the 5. Ace could be good, which it is. Ace high could just be good. And now let's see if Artur goes for multi-street. He unblocks clubs, those type of ace-3, ace-5 hands. He has top pair. I think it is a 2-street hand. He is going to go for it here.
Yeah.
Ben, get out of the way.
End of the hand. I'm going to predict the 3-way as Artur, Ben, and Niklas. Even though I want to Andrew Novak's too there, but like I'll predict those three. Arthur is like he played really good, but he's running good. He's opening and hitting. This is amazing feeling.
Yeah, he's really, I mean, to go for a historic record setting, he already has a record by a lot, and get another title would be crazy. To go to 11, especially when he was one of the shortest to start. This would be an absolute statement of a win today with this type of pedigree, man. It just is impressive to find that he is now looking like, if he can fade and hold and get to showdown, which it looks like he will, right? Queen 10 off, out of position, does have a heart. Is there a world to bet, turn your hand to a bluff? Don't think so. I think you're just happy
I don't think so.
beat enough hands. You know, probably not going to face. Yeah, it's just going to bet. And there it is. He is your chip leader, 3 million. And this is night. This is dangerous time for everyone involved at the table, because he is cooking. 3 million, has position on the next, probably one of the most, you know, that will. He's to the left of Diego, who's in second. And
Being opening again.
Oh yeah, he's going for it. He is going for it. And Ben, as chip leader, is not liking how this is shaking out. He is now in third, and he has got his directly across the table Arthur watching get working here. So not great. And Simon, who started in second, is now in ninth. And I mean, if you're Simon, and again, 5 million in GG earnings, but one of the more unknown players, the more out of all these names, right? This is, you're like, wow, I come in second, I'm pumped up. Now you're like, wow, look around, everyone here, I'm like, is a crusher, and you're basically tied for last with Sergey. So it's not a great start. And this is the distribution again, just nothing super spicy, just kind of in modest hands everywhere. Queen 9 suited is opening, taking stuff down. Ace 3 off, Ben, kind of mandatory to open, although he doesn't love it. He does open it.
That was a good flop for Nina.
Yeah, big flop, pair, flush draw. Could just have the best hand, have backup. He's checked raise a lot. This time he doesn't check raise again. Makes sense though, right? You got a pair and a weak flush draw, so like you're just beating certain hands like this, like a hand that you're super far ahead. You're drawing. He's got 2 outs. He needs a non-diamond ace in this spot. So like again, you could be against ace jack or ace queen. You do run the risk of giving them some chances, but you're also behind at times too. So I like the play by Lena here, not check raise, check call, get into formation. And now it gets a little dicier, because you go from feeling okay and strong to, could I need to catch up? Do I want to catch up? You know, maybe somehow he has a flush draw, but I think again, too much hand to be getting out of the way, and likely just check call and then figure out.
Yeah, he went for a call. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Check raise, semi bluff. So nice. Interesting. Wouldn't have done that myself, but looking at it, I think that actually does make a lot of sense, and deny some equity. Also, maybe get a better hand somehow to fold, possibly slightly better. And then, you know, you have backup, and then you also don't want to let a hand like Jack Queen or something just realize their equity in the river that won't call you. So I think that's a very interesting hand to look at and see.
I think he makes like an ace 10 fold, like,
right.
You know, queen 10 fold, the 10s to fold. Arthur isn't always in a good side of the spot now. He knows what he's doing. Like, he plays really well. Like, it's amazing to watch him. And as a chip leader, we're gonna see him like acting a lot, like opening a lot.
It really is crazy, like how he just like, even here he finds himself like, now he's value betting. He's actually has the best hand. He has control. He gets it, and just sort of impressive stuff. I mean, everything kind of working too, right? Timing and tempo just sort of getting the right situations, right spot. All started really with the ace king suited to ace queen. Again, Niklas, nothing he can do there. And then he still has to hold, has to win. Was at risk. Now Jack 10 suited down to an all-in for 10, 11 blinds.
Let's go, Simon. I think this level somebody's gonna bust.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty. We're coming up on 2 hours in, so pretty. Yeah, it seems like a pretty reasonable thought on that. That is at some point someone has to, I think, out of like just how the game works. But this is we're in a records then. I'm gonna get confirmation. This has to be 2 hours with no player busting is insane. Is insane. You could have put a price. They should put on that. That would be a fun. I'll make a suggestion. G, put in the chat client. Over under final table time to bust or hand level, how many hands to bust. That would be a fun thing to bet on. Like what, how long does the thing last and how long for someone to bust? That would be a great, interesting thing to bet on. And this is, here we go. Jack's ace 8. Nope. Just gonna get Zubov back close to $1 million. Don't want him trending below.
How many hands from now you would bet for somebody to bust?
60K, we're still 10, 11, 12. I mean, I'll say 8 hands.
8? I'll go for 12.
All right, so I'm saying when Marius is the button, so next hand's 1, right? So Andre is the button next hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll say when Marius is the button this next orbit. That's my guess.
Marius the button. Okay.
It's a good line. I think it's going to be
for Simon. I go for Simon the button. Yeah, Simon the button. Yeah, Simon the button.
Oh, so that's 11.
Yeah, it's 11.
Marius is 8. Okay, you're counting last hand. Yeah, so 11 hands. So from now, got it. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
We can have a chalk.
I think that's actually a lot. I think that how many more hands till in 10 hands the level even goes up. So you're thinking next level. And is Artur going to get spicy here? Pressure on the 2. He's really having himself an afternoon. Jack 10 suited. He wants to play. He's thinking the best way to do that. Does call Alexander with ace jack off, with Sergey much shorter. I mean, to be fair, Sergey's now sub. Well, he's got 8 blinds coming into the big blind.
Yeah. If he lasts one orbit, the next orbit he would be really short. If nothing changed.
Zubov thinking, hey, this is big stack. Do I want to get creative here? No. I like that patience. I don't think that's an amazing spot as the Jack.
And look, Artur.
He needs a king. That would make ace jack a straight. Otherwise, Jack 10 with trips already.
In Brazil, we say, o rio corre pro mar. The river goes to the ocean. When somebody is like really good or, and everything goes in his way. It's like Artur today.
How do you say that in Portuguese?
O rio corre para o mar.
Runs, corre.
Yeah.
That's a good style to have if you're that type of. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice thing to do. 9-10 suited. Oh, okay. Wow. We're just seeing the open rip, man. That's something I wasn't expecting. That's crazy. He knows it's ICN time. That's wild though.
He knows that we are here boring because nobody busts. He said, let's have some fun.
Wow, that's the Artur show. Artur show. From that position, a little bit, Interesting. Niklas now, does he just take one off? It's under the gun, respect it, understand, or does he just say, hey, I have king queen, it's a good 3-bet hand, and Niklas is going to play
King
wow.
really
So he
good.
does go for it. Just doesn't want to sit one off. What the trend now we see is just click back, no, not flatting, right? We'll see like a click to like 525.
I don't know. Maybe like if you flat to
I don't
cap
think
your range. I don't know.
I think it's a click. Right? This is just
Click.
520. Artur could step into this somehow, but I don't think so. I think he might just take his move to the next one. He's got a good situation going. At the same time, that's okay. Benjamin Raleigh down.
I like sometimes to flat versus aggressive player to cap my range and go from there. But I like the click, but you know.
The benefit of the click is you do get the kings and the queens and the ace king and the whatever. So all in. Here we go. King 7. We could be well ahead of that time for a player to bust. King 7 needs to stay alive, and we are to a river, and he needs an 8 as well. King 7 8. Ooh, 3 across. That is what is that? That is a 6.
6.
Oh my goodness. So we do see a knockout finally at exactly 2 hours in, just over 2 hours. The record, you can go ahead and stamp that. That is a record in the show. If you're watching, can you believe it? But this is how it goes. It'll be like bang, bang, bang. Maybe people start, the blinds go up, and next thing you know, it just goes fast. At some point, it just is a function of big blinds and the hands. But that is our first knockout. Sergey on the unfortunate end of that sort of roulette of what was going to land where. So there you go.
And now we have Lena with like 40 bigs, so we have more to play against Arthur and the blinds and the button versus blinds, button versus cutoff. We're gonna see some fireworks. I was playing with Lena, and he was talking about Brazil. He said most of my followers are from Brazil, even though I don't post, I don't speak Portuguese. But he said I love Brazil, and he said like almost like half of his followers or 40% of his followers are from Brazil.
Yeah, it's crazy. Jacks. Jacks to 7-8 suited. Not a great flop.
Yeah, in this shallow stacks doesn't work to go for backdoors.
Yeah, picks it up. Not much to do there. Ace king. Ace 8. A lot of aces. All the aces out. Ace 8, ace 7, ace deuce, ace king. No aces available. But ace king gonna get to make light work of this. Likely Lena gonna. Sorry, yeah, Niklas Astedt gonna raise, also known as Lena 9,000, 900.
900. 900.
A really good spot for Marius, who's going to get a fold and pick up on that. He's going to literally pick up off a 740 stack. He's picking up 480, 540. He's picking up 630 from 740. Actually, he's going to get called even, right? It's 300. He's almost got a call. Like the price is
almost double up without playing.
Yeah. Otherwise, so he's gotta get called. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. Ace deuce, ace king, and there's the king. That is running cold. Is a definite pickup as drawing dead. As Marius, really good timing there. So my wager's looking good. I got my 3 players in: 2 million, 2.8, 1.6. You have
I have the 3 players in, but all of them have like similar stacks.
Okay, we got 2 and 3 in a row. Zubov separating the 3-3. Now there's 8 left.
And I can tell that the card distribution from our players was not so good. Let's go, man.
Crazy hand, crazy stuff. King deuce 10 7, ace queen ace 9, ace 6, ace queen ace 9, and well, I guess ace 9 will be saved because ace queen is just going to rip. Ace 9 will fold, and he'll just pick that up. So Novak will just win some chips here. All right, Archer with a little bit. I mean, yeah, king queen reasonable. I guess maybe you could pass that spot as Niklas is under the gun, but it is again a nice hand to bluff with the 3-bet king queen off. Make sure you guys get the retweet out. $50 cash available, and then at 4-handed, I will cue the first $50 giveaway. Must be subscribed. Must hit the thumbs up. Hope you're enjoying. Again, having a great time. Jack 8 suited. Talk to me, Rafa, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 behind, 1,740,000, 1,770,000, 1.7. He's shoving 2.7, 1.7. Is that the right play? I mean, Is he just like that? Can someone take look at his 3-bet percentage? Archer only 3-bets 3% of the time from Sunday. He has 9 million in GG earnings, and that's one to look at. Jack 8 suited.
He's playing with the ice and pressure on them, but I don't know, Jack 8 suited. He knows better.
Ooh, there's our first time we've seen real hands in a lot of places. We got king 10 suited, gets us opening. Marius with the jacks. Ben's going to be all in with ace king suited. So the flat comes. This is going to go squeeze all in.
Flat now.
And then call, back call. So he's going to put 1 million of his 1.7 on the line. And ace 10 off for Zubov, who's been very patient. Can't imagine with the raise call is going to not really any fold equity would be playing here. So likely this will just go over to Mr. Rolle, and Mr. Razor Edge will be at risk with the ace king suited. So interesting spot here because our chip leader could be out in 8, and our second stack would be the shortest with 7 left if this doesn't hold. So
yeah,
Jackson, huge flip, huge moment. Ben gets the heart draw.
Heart is
king on the turn. That is quite a card. Has to fade a jack and a non-heart jack on the river, and that is just a nuts. Nut flush, I should say. It's possible.
I was not running for Ben. Okay, I'm neutral.
Let's
go, Ben.
Yeah, I still actually, even with our dinner wager, I still root for him. I'm also I love Razor Edge, and Ben's working. I gotta pull from there. So 2.3 million. Marius, tough hand, gonna even out our wager a little bit, and also gonna keep everyone still in. 8 left, and Ben again. That's a big flip. That would have been a really disappointing outcome to be chip leader, get out 8th, right, for 44, and leave a lot of EV on the table. Now he's back in a good position, second place, healthy. Sitting nice. King Jack suited going to rip it in. Diego going to get out of the way, I believe, for 10 blinds, ace 8 off.
Yeah. My prediction about the 3-way is still on. Arturo, Niklas, and Ben.
It's true. Three, 6, 5, 4, deuce 10, ace 10. There's the real hand, ace 10. Diego, 1.7. Not super deep anymore, though. Jack queen suited when you get raised.
My friend is my student and a really good friend, Tash. He's watching like almost every week. He's on the chat right now. Let's go, Tash. He's also married with a Brazilian. So I think that's why he's like following up. Not because you were really good on it, but because you were married with a Brazilian as well. I'm joking. Tash, good to have you here.
Yeah, man. It's listen, having a Brazil wife it's a pleasure. They really are family oriented in general. Brazil. That's what I love about Brazil. So much family, so much almost too, like, my wife thinks our kids are going to live around the house or in the house as in college. I told her it's not how it works in the US, but she's convinced that that's how it goes. So I don't know. We'll see when that comes time. But that's just standard, right? In Brazil, a lot of time you live
Yeah,
with.
that's just standard in Brazil. Yeah.
Listen, I guess it's all like it makes some, makes sense. Maybe a hybrid version nearby. Maybe not have to live in the house, but nearby. That could be
Yeah.
possible. She's like, yeah,
And
they're gonna go to college where they are. I'm gonna move, we'll go get a place right by them or where they go. I'm like, all right, I don't, let's see, one thing at a time, but I don't know. I don't know how that, there's not really campuses. It's not like that in Brazil. There's no fraternities. There's no, like, not really campus generally in colleges, is it?
but like people just live close. There's like there's some not like university campus or college campus, but like a campus for students, fraternities like here around the university or around the college. But like it's normal when parents wants to move close by, but there's like some of like a US culture in there as well. When like the kids just go far away to study, which was my case. So I was born in São Paulo, and I went to south to Brazil, is a Paraná, Curitiba, to I did law in Curitiba, so it was like maybe 3 hours flight or 10 hours far from my home. It was really good for me.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's why different parts of the world are just so different in many spots culturally. And we're going to see a potential. I mean, they happen. Well, never mind. I'm sorry. I see the other ace king. I thought we saw an ace king, but no. I'm sorry. Ace king, and then the king seven suit. So Archer going to give up some chips here as it's going to go all in, and then a call, and he'll fold, and they'll likely chop. Although there could be. We see the flush. No one's covered in either flush, so we have possible chance for a four flush as Archer's going to give up about 160K a man. So these guys are going to chop up, 400, 200K each, unless there's a four flush.
The chop Arturo's money.
Yeah. Likely. Everyone's got two flush draws, ace, king, hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. Sweat, anyone? Not going to be the case.
No.
Just pure chop.
Okay.
Almost.
Chop it up.
Chop that up. Archer still 3 million, 2.4 for Ben, Niklas, and Diego. So again, a couple shorter stacks developing into a situation of a little more normal stacks where we see some short ones, some big ones, some middling ones, and a lot going on. A lot going on here as we still see was it 8-handed? Are we really 8-handed at 4 o'clock Eastern? That is crazy. But I listen, this is a fun one. This is one of those ones where I'm like, wow, every hand is like, I'm excited to see what's happening. And it's cool. This is going to be a longer show, and we appreciate everyone watching. We know that this is an exciting time of the year. Happy holidays to everyone. There will be no show next week on Christmas Eve, the 31st. We will be back in action again. Another big guest, and it's New Year's Eve, but shows earlier in 10 jack to tens. This is a tens position for the knockout. Possibly there's the jack. Not easy when the money goes all in. It shows you how important it is to cover people, because look at this. This is a queen, the jack full house. So the jack 10 will win. And again, so we had our first and second stack to start the day at risk with 8 players left, but that will be a double, and Archer down to 2 million, and they're going to make things a little more spicy as well.
Yeah. And we have now 5 close stacks, 1.8, 2.3, 1.8, 1.7, and 2.
And King Jack suited, one of those ones that people do get aggressive with at points, like solver wise, it's like one of those hands you can really get saucy with, but this would not be the timing. And also with the short stacks, I just don't think it makes not small.
Yeah, I think with the ICM versus third position, and he's still got
doing it. He's doing it. Niklas gonna understand that there are two very short stacks, but his hand is just one of those hands, 8-handed. This stack size gonna be playing for it, and gonna see Simon, who just got some chips back, just putting him right out there. I mean, again, gotta respect it.
Yeah, that's the second time that like he made a play against Lena and don't go well.
Tens.
Oh, that is pretty standard only.
Yeah, one of the two short stacks, and we're going to see collisions covering ace queen suited needs to get there versus tens. Ace queen does not hit the flop. 10 still ahead to the river. 5 would chop it on up, and the river card, please. Ooh, jack, not quite a queen. That is a hold for tens.
There's a battle between those players. Two of your players.
Tens, ace 7. All right, another solid spot for Diego here. Going to get Ben with middling hand at got a premium, and he is down to 147 on his chess clock, debating to call or 3-bet. Pretty much too good to call. I think.
Yeah, no.
Where's the button here? It's just too cute. Too many times you're going to get outplayed. If you somehow are beat, that's a cooler, and you put it up and not going to fold. So he does shoot it up. Ben folds, and we got 4 people with around 2 million. 2 million for Archer, 2 million for Diego, 2.1 for Ben, 1.7. One short stack only, couple middling.
And Zubov is short stack since ever, and he's holding up. The small bet here. Stand there. You're done. Usually this show got like a 3-4 hours.
Honestly, it ranges. I mean, we've had shows end 2 hours, 1 hour 40 maybe, but is the longest. I think we had a record 4 hours, like one time only, and then most I'd say average 2:30 to 3, 2.5. But this is we're going to be we're 215 plus in with one player out. I mean, this has a chance for the record. Although again, the blind's getting big and things change, so we'll see. But yeah, 3 hours is like I'd say 245 is kind of like standard, like 230, 245. So we're in it. We have no breaks today too. If you need to use a restroom, usually have the 1 minute break when teasing the 25, 50 mil, the Bahamas. But right now, if you need to use a restroom, please, by all means, go do it. I'm used to online when I used to play. It's funny, when I played online poker and streamed on Twitch a lot, I would go to the restroom like every hour, even when I wasn't playing. Like every hour I'd be out somewhere, I'd be like, oh, it's on the hour, I swear. Like I was like programmed to use the restroom every hour breaks. But yeah, I'm by all means, go if you need to, and take a break. We don't know how long this will be. I hope everyone's enjoying on there. I'm on the road right now. I'm in the Bahamas. Still got more poker to play. Did not work out.
Which tournaments do you still play in Bahamas in this series? Do you have plans to play how many tournaments yet?
For what? Bahamas. For what was that?
In Bahamas. Are you gonna play more tournaments in there?
Yes, there's still the 10K 5 mil GG millions, which is the live version. Then there's also like a 5K turbo bounty. So hopefully just the GG millions and not able to play other, but I'll play hop in there and give that a go. I think today's 1A and B, and then tomorrow is So today there's like a 3 p.m. flight and a 10 a.m. flight. So there's two. They changed it from yesterday. There's supposed to be one, but they made it 2 today and one tomorrow. As we see a couple of nice suited hands. And hello, Niklas. Oh, this backed up. He's not going to be getting away. Zubov going to be back in the game though. The short stack, that's actually going to increase our variance on time because it's going to be a likely double for our shortest, and Niklas and him will be even as well, and we'll be back to sort of that everyone's got $1 million or $2 million game. And that is going to be a very nice sight when he sees the drawing runner. King 10, there's a diamond that'll lock it up. Already had a flush, 118-1. And that is actually comical because, again, Zubov had 7 blinds, right? He was our shortest.
Yeah, he started the tournament with 7 blinds, the final table.
Yeah,
impressive.
So
he's holding on for.
He's got more. He's got more chips. Horse and Jack. So Zubov, we were just saying he was doing well. Now he needs help, and that is a 4 against who started in second. Will now need a Jack or a King, right? A King would counterfeit that set. Jack, 4, a King, and that is none of that. That is a nasty one. As Zubov, who put money on Zubov out there? You got like 42-1. He is now in the tied for chip lead. Actually, technically chip leader, no? 2.268. He is your chip leader by a hair. So holy value. If you got the 40-1, that is a good spot here. He is off and running crazy. And this is a misstep. Novak going to go with Queen Jack, though. Can't blame him. Didn't want to raise, get put in a spot. Has a chance. The Jack, though, is not what he wanted with the ace-ace. That is going to be a GG. We are down to 7 and with a short stack. Zubov was our shortest, the chip leader. Our second stack is now the shortest. So we've got a lot of developments going here. Look at those players' stats there on the side. Ben says GG. And look at this. Ben started chip leader, was all at risk. Ace king suited jacks, won that. He's chip leader. So much happening. And this is what we expect. Stuff starts moving right now at the 35-70K level. We might be 3-handed or heads up or 4-handed usually. We are still 7-handed at the moment. And we are going to be potentially quickly to 6-handed. Can't count out our short stack, but he is in dire straits. 7-10, 6-7 off. Diego was once chip leader, also still healthy there with 6-7 off. Thinking if he wants to shoot it up or just check. I think it's close to be bad enough, and one of those ones you want to balance with raising, but also maybe just a little bit connected and decide to take a flop. I think either way is fine. Also at this stage of the tournament with Ben chip leading, maybe respect that a little.
Yeah, I think it's just fine with like a really short stack and Ben chip leading is just flop.
Yeah, that is definitely reasonable. Yeah, I'm
and distribution is coming back to normal.
Yeah, I actually it's getting a little bit more normal for sure. A little bit more normal. Deuces to queen deuce. Pick it up right away. Button open. Button open is a takedown with ducks. That's a good result. King queen suited now for Ben. I see Artur with the suited ace deuce. This could be another showdown here. Let's see if Artur with the, if he's just going to call or if he wants to 3-bet. Probably generally would just call in this situation, but he knows Ben also opening very wide. So this is a really strong hand for the chip leader in his spot. King queen suited. He actually has a real hand. You think Artur 3-bets or just calls?
Yeah, from Artur, yeah.
Wow. Look at this. Comes in and finds a shove. And this is kind of close for Ben because you don't want to call off. He does, though. I mean, he at the same time, he realizes, like, hey, I'm covering, and this might not be that strong a hand. He goes for it, and that is drawing dead. to drawing dead on the flop. King, queen suited flops the flush. Niklas going to go out, and Ben, that's part of the problem there is like Ben knows that he is perceived as so aggressive in this position with his back that king, queen suited is just a value hand for him. So he decides to get it. Now here we go. Down to 6, potentially a quick 5 as the short stack will be in the big blind next hand. Things are moving. We got the tweet ready for you guys. I got the 50 cash waiting. I'm going to announce that at the end. There's still a very nice 2 giveaways coming as well there. We got only 16 of you have commented. You got to pick who wins. I'll put the link out for you one more time here. And we are still going to see an interesting day of action. And absolutely crazy. Ace Jack, Queen 7. This has been a unique final table.
I have to say, GG, Lina. We love you in Brazil.
Yes, he is a fan favorite for sure. Over 1,000 watching. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hope you are enjoying this as much as Rafa and I are. Joined with the Brazilian Crusher and Picks Poker. He explained at the pregame show today. Gonna have to hold that. I want to ask you more about that as we see a big couple hands here. So 7s, interestingly enough, might even be able to get out of the way and potentially could have a flip and pay jump. I just don't know if he has too short with what's he got, like 2.5 blinds, 7s, although this is going to go 3-bet. And then even there's a chance that Archer doesn't have a hand. So maybe you get value and hope to flip. I don't know. Do you find ever a fold here with 7s? Can you fold?
I think he can find a fold if, versus 3-bet. Yeah, he may find a fold. It's kind of like, because Arthur is like opening like a little wide with this stack as he's playing. Maybe.
Oh, he limped.
Maybe
he limped.
He limped. Oh yeah, we were talking about he limped. Yeah, it's hard to get away with 7s.
The thing is, though, the problem is you know that he's going to then call, right? Because if you call and he's closing the action 200, so like now you're 3-way with 7s. I think you have to fold. At the same time, what's the likelihood of the players busting when they go heads up there and they're stacked? So like they're also not really. It's not like they just get it in here a lot, which they actually will probably, because it's going to go. If he folds, it'll go raise and call all in. So, but he's not going to anticipate that usually happens. So what is the jump? Well, from 6th to 5th, right? So it's 20 grand. But if you do hit a 7 or win somehow a flip or whatever, like I don't know, this is a tough one. He's gonna burn some clock.
Yeah, when Arthur is like opening, not limping, and Zubov is 3-betting, I think he could fold more easily because they could like collide and get a pay jump. But even though he find a way to fold.
And he's going to like what he sees. He's got an opportunity for the pay jump. That's one of the benefits of folding there. And Zubov, who doesn't love this, that he's putting this is for the sherbet right here. This is a massive pot. Queens to ace king. Neither player with a diamond, queens to ace king river, needs the 6 outs. Ace or king or Zubov will be doing the unthinkable. It is paint and it's a king. Zubov, the 7 blind, almost took it all the way up to be healthy second of 5. Instead, the man, the myth, the 10-time GGMillion champion gets it done using the GG. Greg goes all in emoji there, and he just can't believe it. Zubov almost had the dream spin, is very short, and he is going to be all in and getting called by ace queen. So we could be down to 5 in a second. This is actually, Simon can't believe this, that he is going to get a potential jump and actually as not a flip, as even a big favorite. And wow, the king 7 off going to call here. I guess just thinking that I'm actually surprised he calls here a little bit with the big blind left, but more so because he's shoving with that 180 stack. He's got to have like a pretty strong hand. So that's interesting. I guess Ben's also chip leader. Not very rare, very unlikely Diego's going to get involved. He happens to have a hand too. And Diego's actually thinking, do I want to just rip this in? Like, do I really want to risk? There's 2 guys with not a lot of chips, and he's going to click it up, and nice execution to get the extra money. And actually Zubov with the heart all of a sudden would find himself back in the mix. He is in it. Needs a queen or an 8, or he's going to be back to 900. And that is a 3 across. and I'm sorry, it's a 4 cross. That's a 4 cross. That's a 10. That is safe. That is a double and some, a triple plus some. Alexander all of a sudden right there with Marius wanted to see that. Big swing for Marius. Would have had a very short stack player left, and now all of a sudden the same stack for Alexander. So Marius was rooting the hardest to see that. That could have been down to 4-handed quickly. Instead, we're still 6, and now we see a very, very even stack of Alexander and Marius, and still the dream alive for the spin out for Zubov.
Yeah, and Simon, I just saw your page jump go away with all the hearts. With 2 big blinds, would be amazing to have this page jump. But Zubov is still on. He was our short stack since the beginning.
7-4, Queen 10. Archer with a powerful 3.7. There is still a spot here where Queen 10 just not loving this board. 7-4 feeling pretty good now. I mean, just good turn. You got the gut shot. You have a 4. You know, it's a spot where you probably want to bet small here. I guess he could check, but I think you want to deny some equity, but he does.
Yeah, against Arturo, you could check, or you could bet small, but like I'll definitely check versus Arturo.
Yeah, Artur Mortarizi now thinking if he wants to bluff, no, he's just gonna go ahead and get to I guess I like that check. You do open up some check raises, and it's like you run the risk of a hand like that, Queen 10, Jack 10, you know, whatever, 2 overs that they get their equity for the 6 outs. But other than that, you know, you probably have the best hand. Don't want to get blown off in case you don't, and then just pot control. So it makes sense there. Ben giving respect to, I think, the Archer 5s now with a 21 blind stack. Kind of tricky when you got those 2 shorties, especially the one on 2 blinds. You almost just want to fold. No, it's like
I think fold. He could fold here because Arturo is going to put a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, unless you just rip it. But now you get Archer gets to rip it. He would have ripped any 2. Ace 4 is an actual comfortable hand, as we're getting closer to have the player who started in second, Simon, be all in. He is going to be effectively all in this small blind, this big blind, small blind. All right, we're still moving here and shaking. This is 6-handed play. Pretty crazy. Going for maybe a record stream. What do we got? 2 hours and a half and change right now. Still 6-handed, kind of a long one, but an exciting one. And this player with 5-7, is he going to get shut out here? Is he going to even get? I guess he's got to put his money in at this point. And 5-7, Jack 10 is alive. 7-5 has a chance, not so much anymore. 96.87% and needs a 4 now. The wheel draw on the turn, about 9%. Not going to be GG. All around 5 left. And again, Marius and Alexander now, the short stacks. Diego hanging on in the middle. Ben and Artur shaking out for potentially a Titan matchup heads up. Archer trying to get his 11th title. Ben trying to get his 2nd. A lot of final tables. Came in chip leader.
How long more to have a break?
They took out the breaks on this one today. So if you need to use the restroom, please, by all means, go use the restroom. Take a moment.
I will. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, this is again Ace 6 and Queen 5. So 1 and 2 squaring off. No one with much. 6 on a scary board. Probably just going to try to get the showdown. Doesn't seem to do too much to bet here. As 4 minutes on the clock, 6 minutes, 57 seconds for Diego. Queen on the river doesn't help Archer. That helps Ben. Now he's got a winner and a board that, and Archer, I don't know if Queen 5. Yeah, there's all the under pairs. Do you want to bet, try to get some value? Straights out there. Russia, you don't really have to worry about, but he does go ahead and bet now at this point. So Queen 5 makes sense. Bet that's the best hand, takes it on. Picks it up over 5 million for Ben. A little bit of a rocky ride for him, but he has found his way back to the top, 5-handed. 40-80 blinds big. And this is moving. Nine, 8 suited. Queen 5, 3, 9, Queen 4. Pretty dusty hands there. I'm actually a little surprised that Archer doesn't shove there, considering the ICM on those two with 5 left. So the jump from 5 to 4, pretty big. And on the other hand, I'm a little curious on that. Maybe just thinks that these players aren't afraid and they're going to call with the right ranges. But I'm a little surprised there. I guess this hand just also really not a good hand, so decided not to do that. But 3.8 for Archer and a spot where Ben may get a walk here. Arthur, I don't know if he's going to not open that. And then Marius with Queen 9 off. You want to be first in? You're the shortest? No. So, yeah, Alexander's 9-3. They're going to go ahead and let that one go. So, nice to get a walk if you're Ben. 3 Austrians out of 5. It's going to be an Austria or Bahamas winner today, at least from where they're playing from today, not the country of residence. We got some couple Russian players, some Germans, but a very interesting 3 and 2 flag breakout here. We got 2 country availability into a mystery hand. We got Bahamas versus the Austrian flags, where they're playing from in geography today. As we see A7, Ben on the button, fun hand, tricky one to play. A7, gonna raise, everything straightforward so far. Okay, call, bottom pair, Jack 8-7, rainbow board, all different suits. Turn 2 pair, seems pretty confident. You're going to feel good about your hand. Of course, you do lose to 9-10, and Archer would check down the flop. You do lose to Ace-8 and Ace-Jack. He also probably wouldn't blow up some of those too. So there is actually some hand value that beats you as played here. Let's see what happens if Archer just starts. He just starts coming out betting big. Going to be a cause for pause if you're Ben. You got to be a little concerned. You call the queen on the river. Doesn't change too much. I mean, I guess he could have like king 10 of spades or something like that. So now if he bets big here, what do you do?
9-10 that he flats the flop.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's what I'm saying. He could have checked 9-10 on the flop. So if you get a big bet here, it's uncomfortable. He's probably gonna put some pressure here if he has it, or if he has a 10x even. Ben doesn't have a spade in his hand. Let's see the size. This could get wild. Wow.
I was about to say, if he goes all in, what we will do with A7.
This is such a sick mystery hand. I mean, I guess the book guys fold because like you're in first and like whatever. And is he really risking that much without a thing? Your free value, is he going to shove like 8-7 or Jack-7? Probably not. So it's like he's either bluffing or has 9-10 or king-10 kind of thing. I guess even a set could he shove for value as played. But wow, I mean, so because he knows, I guess Ben never has 9-10, right? Ben's not going to check 9-10 on the flop. Almost certainly wouldn't do that.
What do you think about like some combo draws on the turn? Arturo like just elect to bet big with the combo draw.
Yeah, like 10-8 of spades.
Yeah. 8-9 of spades.
8-9 of spades. I mean, Ben he knows Archer probably as well as anybody. And
Jack of spades.
You just got to start thinking about, are you leveraging the fact that there's all other short stacks? Also, if Ben calls, he would basically win the tournament here. At the same time, if he loses, he's got 1.3 and he's tied for second. There's a lot to consider. He's got 5 minutes on the clock and he's going to fold in king 10. He does. Ben calls correctly, turn, folds correctly, river, and that was a crazy one. And maybe you think, could Archer have gone for a different size for not all of it there? Because it's just such a big ask from that. And here he goes, going to work, and Archer is in position now with a slight chip lead, 5-handed. Gonna queue up the giveaways too, because we do have a couple short stacks. Sorry, I'm on my away setup today.
Nice fold, man.
Wow.
Yeah, Zubov cannot fold here.
All right, we're doing a $50 giveaway. Keyword is, it's going to be GGWSOP Rafa, and then underscore, insert your GGPoker username. And if you do not have a GGPoker username, let me just see here as we see the 6-3 and the ace queen. That's a knockout. So I was putting the giveaway as we get a knockout. We're down to 4 and ace 10 suited. And Marius is super short. Diego's chipping down. This could be over very quickly. Let's get this out there. We have got GGWSOP space Rafa. Insert your GGPoker username. If you don't have a GG account, use a friend. Give it to a friend. Gift a friend. Split it with a friend. Good luck there. And we are rolling here. All right. Getting that organized. Giveaways queued up. A little harder when I have one screen, not my normal. I got 4 and very calm setup. I'm in a laptop trying to do multiple things, but we do have giveaways rolling. We have a lot of flop flushes, 118 to 1 to flop a flush. That is now a second or third time maybe we saw it today. We saw the queen jack of diamonds for Zubov. I saw king queen of spades, Ben flop dead, Lena and Niklas Astedt ace 4 off, and there was another flop flush as ace jack. Pretty comfortable hand here, but at the same time Marius is basically out. I guess you just shoved though still, right? 40-80.
Yeah, he has 4 blinds with king 5 against the button. Ace jack just shove.
All right, down to 4. Really 2 big stacks and then 2 others and queens. This could get dicey. Good hand to raise, non all in. And Ben with ace 9, the big blind, has a bit of a decision how he wants to play. I don't think you just shove. Although there is some argument that, I think it's too good, right? I was gonna say to just.
I think queens, kings, and aces are just open. I'll shove in there.
And I got to say, to be eligible again, remind you, hit the thumbs up and be subscribed, and you have a chance for the 50, and then we'll do 100 next tickets. Queens, ace 9. I'm going to pick the winner here in a very quickly because I know this could get heads up, and it's big blinds. Things could happen. Please remember to take a look at the retweet as well. I want you guys on mine. Jeff Gross Poker, get a shot at 50 cash. And again, things moving quickly. So queens, ace 9. Diego, is he going to pick this up? I wasn't really thinking because it's been so slow. I think this could go forever. But then I look around like, well, we could be 3-hand in a second. And he's only got, what, 20 blinds? 50, 100. He's got 15 blinds. And then Ben and Archer, who knows? They overbet jam and do creative stuff. So I'm going to announce the winner really quick. Let's see. When we get to 150, 155. So 10 more thumbs up. I'll announce the first winner, and then I'll queue up the 100 and let it roll till the end. Yeah, it's going to happen fast. It really can. I mean, we're seeing now the Jack 10 off of 2 blinds. At some point, I think you just got to get in there, right? I mean, and this is actually a spot where you get a really good spot. There it is. Nice discernment there. Nice dissection of that. Going to get in ahead. And Diego, do you want to get involved with the queen 6? Okay, he does get in there. Queen 6, top pair.
Yeah, Arthur's gonna make him fold this queen 6.
All right, Marius is actually
30K, 33K pay jump.
Yeah, he would be queen 6 would be in decent position here, although it's a lot to risk to chance that Marius somehow wins or Archer or whatever, and you go out ahead of that all in, and it is a vulnerable hand. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's gonna... Oh, he does. Wow.
He does.
Jack 10 in really bad shape. 7-4 now has a club draw. Queen 6 only 52%. River card is a slow peel. 3 of clubs. A double knockout. We are heads up. Diego Marius versus the 4th and 3rd go out there. We are heads up 196. We are going to play a $55,000 match, give or take a few $100s. So Ben going for a 2nd title, his 11th going for Arthur, 2 legends of the game. Heads up. What a absolutely spicy match today. And there we go. So we're at 2 hours 45 minutes, and now we're heads up. So right on track for about wow. I mean, just I'm gonna pick the winner here in a sec. I'm gonna pick the winner, and we're gonna go from there. There we go. Ace 4. Gonna pick the winner for the 50. Let's do that. First winner.
Potentially big pot here. Ace King versus 9s.
All right, I gotta get the $100 giveaway queued up. We've already. Oh my goodness, 9s to Ace King.
Wait, yeah.
Could actually get it done. Is this literally? All right, I'm doing a giveaway. This is for the win for history.
Yeah.
That's it. You blink, it's over. We're doing a thing that's like takes forever, and then out there, it's no heads up. 9s to Ace King, legendary battle, 11 wins for Arthur. Can't even blink, and it's heads. Just absolutely crazy that Arthur, he's in the Bahamas. I just saw him yesterday, and then he is taking down the GGMillions for his 11th title. Absolutely insane stuff. 16-1. I had a 20 on it as well. I got a dinner from you. Zubov was the shortest stack. He came back to win, and now, I mean, I don't even know. That is literally epic quick end to it, as you can expect. The 43-1 had a shot that was chip leader for a second. That was crazy stuff. Tell me, Rafa, what do you think?
I was amazing final table. It's kind of like slow at the first 2 hours, and then suddenly everything happens and go quickly to the heads up and no heads up. How many hands? 2? I think two hands and done.
I mean, literally, I didn't even have time to get the $100 queued up. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I can't believe that that was like, I literally was like plugging it in, and then I looked up and there was a flip for the title. That is so nuts. What a showing from Ben, what a showing from Arthur, and what a showing from everyone today. No one wanted to go away. It took 2 hours to lose 1 player, and then what? We're talking about 45 minutes for the next 8, right? Is that right? It was 45 minutes.
It was 2 hours and 15 minutes to get the first round.
Yeah, about just about 2:15. That is
30 minutes to conclude the final table.
I am going to announce another winner. I'm not even have time to do another giveaway. Give you guys a chance to hit thumbs up and be subscribed, and I will pick another winner. It's going to be 100. And I'm just going to give another 100 ticket out without doing the $100. Just pick a second from the 50, as we just ran out of time. And Rafa, tell me. So I want to ask you before we do leave, PixPoker. Give me a little bit more info on that.
Yeah, as I said at the beginning, PixPoker is a poker platform in Brazil that you can play in your cell phone, in your tablet. They have just 2 years. They're growing online, and they have like a special thing. They're like giving poker players experience, not just poker. They are mixing poker with music, poker with some like I said, is like a rodeo in Brazil. It's kind of different. We call vaquejada, but like they're doing that. They did the cruise. They did they mix like other sports with them, like motocross, like volleyball. Like they're doing like modern poker. If you want to feel some experience in Brazil and play poker together, you have to go to a PixPoker event. They have like different ideas and nice ones. I'm glad to be part of it. It's like they're changing kind of like the perspective to go to a festival to play just poker, to get our family together, go to a place, and you have like a side activities for your family, for your kids, for your wife. You know, they're doing like this stuff to bring like family to poker. So this is really good.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool. And I love your background today. I love the setup, love the analysis. Definitely, again, a reason one of the top players in Brazil. You can see over 2.5 million in live earnings and just a super, super crusher. Appreciate you, man. Always enjoy having and speaking with you. And you will be, I'm sure, on again in the future. And you guys can give him a follow on Instagram. I think that's where you're most active, as we have your tags on my socials, and you can see the tweet and everything for Rafa there. We will be spending more time with him, and appreciate all of you. And again, for the Twitter, Jeff Gross Poker, $50 cash. Gonna go ahead and pick a winner here in a second and give you guys a shot at that. As congrats to both our winners. That was such a fun final table, such an ending, and we appreciate the time, Rafa. I will see you on the tour. I'll see you on the stops, and of course, always welcome here to join us in the GG Million family. New season coming up. No show next week. We'll be back New Year's the 31st. Big announcements coming in January for the future GG Million. What's going on, and just so excited. Happy to be here. If you're in the Bahamas, come say hi to me. I'll be playing the live version of the GG Millions here over the next few days. Thank you so much, Rafa. Appreciate you, brother. See you soon. And everyone, see you on the 31st. Happy Christmas, holidays. Happy New Year to everyone. I'll see you on the 31st, and all the best to you, Rafa. Enjoy your time with the family.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, and happy holidays for everybody. Thank you again.
Ciao.
Ciao.